And we are live. What's good, Josh? Your man, DL Saint, man. What's up? What's up? What's up? How y'all doing? Happy Saturday. Y'all know I don't normally do lives on Saturday, so it must be something going on, right? And you're right. Definitely is something going on. Something that needs to be talked about. Um, yeah, man, there's a lot going on in the YouTube world and in these YouTube trenches. And there is a bit of a storm around Just Pearly Things right now, y'all. Just a bit of a storm. She is doing her thing. Just Pearly Things. A lot of people was of the RP space. You know what I mean? A lot of people will say that. A lot of people will say that, she's taking the manosphere by storm, or as like Rich Cooper like to call it, the Mano Swamp. There's a lot of talk about how she did it. But it seems like she may have stepped in it. Um, and we're about to get into it. I won't take too much of y'all time on the Saturday. I know it's Saturday evenings around 8 o'clock. I know people got stuff to do. It's the weekend, but man, I just couldn't wait. You know what I mean? I just couldn't wait. I had to get this out here. And off the rip, we got Miss AKA Lady in the house. What's good, love? How you feeling? Always a pleasure. You also, brother Mike's in the house. As for you, man, yeah, like the stream on your way in, please do. I appreciate it. These are conversations, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't like having these conversations because these conversations never lead to any real resolution or any call to action or anything like that, right? So it just people get in as they big talk, and then it all goes away. But you got to talk about it. You just can't let stuff go. You know what I mean? Sister Take Keys in the house. What's good, love? How you feeling? You know what I mean? We got to talk about this. And this is going to be a tough conversation to have, y'all. And I'm about to pin. I'm going to pin the link right now because I really do want to hear people's take on this. I really do want to hear people's take on this because, I mean, the message pinned to the top there for those who want to jump in. But, we're going to be talking about race and racism, worldwide, globally. You know what I mean? So I don't care what community you come from or, you know what I mean, what skin tone you have. This conversation includes all of us, y'all. All of us. Brother Truth's not even surprised. You know what I mean? I know Brother Truth is going to pop in here at some point, and I ain't mad at him. And I got to say that I am surprised a little bit. This stuff never ceases to amaze me in the sense that people keep doing it. You know what I mean? But again, we live in a world of clips and sound bites and stuff like that. So, we're going to get into it. I'll tell you how I thought, what I thought about this. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'll let y'all know how I feel about this. You know what I mean? And I'm glad y'all in here. Brother Marcus is in here. Brother Truce is in here. That's for y'all. You know what I mean? Truce, I see you in the back. We're going to bring you up here in a second, man. We definitely going to bring you up here in a second, man. So all right, here's the thing. Just Pearly Things, she is in the the manosphere world, right? She's part of the Mano Swamp, right? In fact, she's a female who has taken the red pill manosphere world by storm. Let's just keep it 100. She came in and did what she did. I thought her moves were, I'm not going to lie to you, I would just have to call her moves brilliant. Just to keep it 100. From a business perspective, to do what she has done, being a female who's not necessarily, like attractive. Like I'm not trying to talk down to her. She understands it. She knows. She's like, well, I'm not necessarily attractive. She's tall. She's like close to 6 feet. She's very athletic. She comes from privilege. And I mean, she hasn't been endowed with, that kind of 8, 9, 10 type beauty, right? She's not what dudes be looking at, you know what I mean? Brother Jacob's in the house. I heard there's countries that are way more racist than the US. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. And it's racist in different ways. Absolutely. You know what I mean? You hear a lot of people talking about going down to like, Central South America and stuff like that. When I go to Colombia, I get treated a certain way. It's really good. I don't speak that much Spanish. You can tell I'm absolutely a gringo too, but I get access. People who are Caucasian, especially Westerners, they get treated poorly. Poorly. Same thing in Japan. You know what I mean? I've heard the same thing about France. I haven't been to France. I will. I haven't gone lately, but I've never been at all, and I plan to go. Germany. They say the same thing about Germany. You know what I mean? There's still Nazis in Germany. You know what I mean? But the Germans, they don't play with that. They like to stump that out, but they're still there. But there are places on this globe that you'll go as a Caucasian, like an American, and they're gonna treat you like crap, bro. You know what I'm saying? You want to get a taste of what the black person experience is in America. There are certain countries you can go to and you can get that. Go to Japan. Go to Japan, you'll get a good dose of that. Gaijin. Good, healthy dose of that. But you're right. Sister Take Heed's in the house. Like I said, brother Marcus in the house, my favorite devil dog. Sister Take Heed, I think she's wrong on this matter. I think she's wrong too. So, like, okay, so Pearl comes into the scene. If you go back, you can go through Fresh and Fit's archives. You go way back there, close to 2 years, maybe a little over 2 years ago. Was it that long? Maybe a year and a half, a little over a year and a half ago. She was on their platform. She was just one of the women sitting at the table. And man, was this might have been before they had 100,000 subscribers. I can't remember exactly. I know I didn't watch the episode live, and if I did, she didn't make an impression on me. But she got there, and I believe her business mind kicked in. She got there, she listened, she got RP'd, right? She kind of got RP'd. She was like, "Oh, these dudes are onto something." She was living in London, I guess, at the time. Went back to London and started doing like person on the street stuff, interviews, like talking about, what's going on with the dating world, talking about, feminism and women being women and all that. Started her platform. And in UK, she started with the people of African descent in UK. That's where she started. That's who she rocks with. That's her team. That's her team. Right. That's what, that's how she's doing her thing. So if you've ever watched, and I've watched a good chunk of her content. I can't say I've ever sat down and watched an episode live or whatever from start to finish. I've never watched, like 2-3 hours straight. I've never done that because the talking points are the same. You know what I mean? I've never done that, but she brings people on. She's had Brittany Renner. She's had Andrew Tate. You know what I mean? She's had like all of the big time red pill guys, not all of them, but a good chunk of them. You know what I mean? She's worked with MTR, who she was currently working with recently, as this is popping up. Mel King, Maggie, the substitute teacher. They were, just recently over there doing content. She's had Jay Waller over there. She's had Sterling Cooper over there. She's had Troy Francis. Like I said, she was getting like all of the young. When I mean young to YouTube, like the new fresh meat in the red pill world, the guys with respect. She's had these dudes on her platform. And it's just a variant aspect of Fresh and Fit. And I'm not mad at her, like, oh, she's biting off Fresh and Fit. A lot of people are. You know what I mean? Let's keep it 100. It's a lot of people trying to replicate their success. Right. And again, I thought it was fascinating. Like, oh, it's people from across the pond. This is what's going on in the UK, but I don't know much about the culture at all. Outside of Guy Ritchie movies, I don't know. So it was kind of fascinating to see it. Now she's working with King Richie's. Am I pronouncing it right, brother Michael? King Richie's, I think it is. Who content creator over there in the Manos, like the Manosphere world, red pill space from UK. So she's doing all this. Well, she decided to have Nick Fuentes on her platform. And for those who don't know who Nick Fuentes is, man, you can look it up, but he's basically a famous anti-Semite, racist individual, white guy. That's who he is in a nutshell. It is what it is. That's his beliefs. You know what I mean? And he's famous for them. Definitely famous for them. You know what I mean? So, he's one of those guys that we talk about the events in, I think it was Charlottesville when a young woman lost her life. She was, she got deleted during a protest by a guy who was, identifies with or is a white supremacist. And she met her. It was a violent end. And he talks about stuff like this. Is a guy who denies the Holocaust, the guy who says slavery wasn't that bad. And I know when we get into this, a lot of people are going to say, it's black folks who said the same thing. Yes, and I don't agree with those people either. You know what I mean? But she had him on her platform, and it didn't go well for her. And she got the content that she wanted, but the backlash has begun. And this all started with grumblings in Black YouTube. With O'Shea Duke Jackson was putting some stuff out there. Then I saw Six the Goddess putting some stuff out there. So when O'Shea put it out there, I was just kind of like, you know, again, I hadn't seen it. And I know people were talking about clips, but I don't watch clips. Generally speaking, like, I ain't gonna watch no clips. I know what this is. You know what I mean? But he put out quite a few clips. And then there's a bunch of platforms out there that I'm not familiar with doing the same thing. Like, it's like, oh man, you know, Black YouTube has come for Pearl. And I was thinking, man, are they just hating on her? Why are they coming for Pearl? Right? Again, having not seen the content. And at this point, I didn't even realize she had Nick Fuentes on. Then I start seeing the thumbnails, and I'm like, oh wait. And now you got MTR, who just dropped a 12-minute. We're gonna react to it. You know what I mean? And yo, he went in. He had to go in. I mean, he's there. Like, he's been doing so much content with her. Like, she was in the US doing stuff. Like, you know, it was like MTR and the lead attorney and God, what's the name of the other dude with the beard? Can't remember his name, but he's big on Black YouTube. Damn, I can't think of his name, but he was like doing some shows with her. Donovan Sharp doing some shows with her. I'm curious to see what Donovan's gonna do. Melanie King, like I said earlier, you get a lot of, you know, Black content creators, and not just, you know, like Black YouTube content creators. I'm talking about mainstream content creators working with Pearl. And she did this thing. So finally, I'm like, man, I gotta look at what they're talking about. I even was on a call with Mandrell for a long time. For a long time with Mandrell. And we was talking about this. And I was like, man, I don't know, Mandrell. Like, bro, I think they just hate. And he was like, nah, man, you gotta see this. You gotta see what she's talking about, bro. And I finally went and I watched, and I'm like, oh, damn. You know what I mean? Okay. Y'all know I'm a First Amendment type guy. I believe you can say what you want to say. I want to hear it. You feel me? But that doesn't mean you're free from consequences. It does not mean. So we're gonna run back what MTR has to say. And here's the thing: she's been working with him. He put his whole reputation on the line. He's working with this woman. Being a guy who's in the Mano Swamp, he's in the red pill space. He's working with this woman, right? Who's doing her thing. She's blowing up. He's like, cool, we're gonna collab. This is how the YouTube streets work. Same with Mel King, you know, and everybody else who's been working with her. You know what I mean? The Valuetainment, Saucecast. She's been on Saucecast. She hasn't been on the PBD podcast, but she's been on Saucecast, and I think she was on Jebediah. I think. So she was doing her thing. Now this, and it forces now. You know, you draw a line when you do this sort of thing. Miss AKA lady, did you see MTR's first live reaction video? I did not. He tried to defend her, but it just kept getting worse and worse. Yeah, you're gonna try to defend people, especially people you rocking with. Sister Take Heed, she built it strong because of the Nigerians. Yeah, what she built is strong because of the Nigerians over there, right? And again, I don't understand that community, but I understand, like, you know, people of West Indian descent and then African Nigerian stuff like that. It's huge in UK. I don't know how that rocks. And she's like, her platform is strong because of the Nigerians. You know what I mean? Miss AKA lady, you can say whatever you want to, but you gotta hold that. You gotta hold that reaction too. Ooh, that's to MCR. Like, yeah, because if you come after somebody that you think you know with something and like, hold on, man, they didn't do that. Come on, man, it can't be that. The same way when I saw the reaction videos before I actually watched the videos, I was dismissive. Like, y'all probably just mad, bro. She eating it up. She's getting, you know, look at her platform. Over 1.3 million. Like, she's growing, she's doing her thing. Man, maybe they just mad. Now it's beyond that. You know what I'm saying? It's beyond that. So before I do the video, though, I do want to bring Brother Truce up and get his insight, and then we're gonna break this down. But MTR did get into a position where he had to do a video, and he did it. He put it out. Maybe I think it's a couple hours old now. And we're going to go through that whole thing, y'all. It's about 12 minutes or so. We're going to go through that whole thing. And I could tell the brother was not happy. It's 12 minutes and 19 seconds. And I can see why he's not happy. And we're going to get into this Nick Fuentes thing, bro. We're going to get into it, man. Brother Truce, man, what's good, fam? How you feeling?
I'm all right, man. I am highly disappointed, but it's been a rough weekend, honestly. How you doing, man?
All right, man. I'm doing all right. Same thing over here, man. Got a lot of stuff going on in real life. Things that are on my mind. Y'all know I normally, again, my weekends are normally busy, and this weekend is no exception. But we gotta talk about this, man. So you said you're not surprised, but you are disappointed.
Yeah, man. Look, when we first met, I think I told you that I had to tell my daughters, or I had to get my daughters to explain to me what a pick me girl was, and I told them not to say that. It's kind of disrespectful, right?
Uh-huh.
Now I'm gonna get disrespectful. These are pick me's because I hate being right about crap like this. Guys, this is a grift. This was a grifter. DL, I told you she was a grifter. Like, this is how it starts. The David Rubins, the Tucker Carlsons, the freaking Ben Shapiros. This is how it always starts. They tell you, especially young, vulnerable men, everything they want to hear, instead of what they need to hear. And then slowly but surely, you start seeing their actual intentions. I mean, Nick Fuentes, of all the people you could have brought up there, of all the people who could have rode the fence with their racism, Nick Fuentes, a guy who's not only argued about the Great Replacement Theory, but has mentioned Jewish Americans, has mentioned the Holocaust, has mentioned the fact that he wants to kick out people who look like us out of this country. That's who you bring up. But hey, it's cool. It's cool, you know. And I'm sorry, I gotta address this comment or one of the messages, because what do you say? I heard there's countries that are way more racist than the U.S. Bro, Pearly and Nick Fuentes are Americans, so I don't want to hear anything about other countries right now.
Well, but hold on, but real quick, and I'm gonna put it up here too. I'm gonna find it right here, like what Jacob was saying. No, there are countries that are, but racism, Americans' version of racism is different than other people's versions of racism, but they're all equally horrible.
Yeah,
You know
I
what
agree.
mean?
But right now we're talking about two Americans who know what sort of racism we dealing with. No one can pretend like just Pearly things ain't know who Nick Fuentes is. There's not one person who can claim that she ain't know who Nick Fuentes was.
No, not only did she know who he is, but again, to me, it seems that she was this was a business decision to come up with some content that's going to be controversial. That's going to get people to do exactly what we're doing right now, right? That's going to talk about it and look at it. I just don't think she weighed it out. And the stuff that she's saying, there's some stuff out there where, like in that interview, she's trying to act as if she's not aware of certain things. Like, no, you are aware. Don't play. That's when I was like, all right.
But isn't that exactly what pick me girls do? Pretend like they ignorant and a bunch of airheads. And look what happened. I hope it was worth it.
And we're definitely gonna talk about that, because there's definitely gonna be a price to pay. Mm-hmm. Like, some people say they want to smoke until they really get to smoke. This Nick Fuentes guy, you know what I mean? This Nick Fuentes guy, you know that wherever he was on No Jumper, which caused a lot of drama between Adam 22 and the black people he had working with him. Adam 22's in LA, and he works with a lot of dudes in the streets, like real street dudes, like straight up gangsters. He works with a lot of people. He does a lot of things that could get him hurt in them LA streets. And he got people that was working with him that was literally putting their life on the line to look out for Adam. And then Adam goes and he brings Nick Fuentes, or not Nick Fuentes, but a guy similar to that on the platform, and asks his people not to be there. Not even ask them, just, I'm doing this kind of thing, and I've stayed away from that. Right. And a lot of his people just they walked away, like, man, we can't be around this. Some of them stayed.
I mean, think about it. How can you be so like and I used to rock with Adam. Again, one of the guys who I don't always agree with, but I thought some of his videos was good. But again, it's gotta click, guys, when they're so strong about their beliefs, but they can't bring the people they rock with around them when they start talking about this. Like, we got to start acknowledging red flags here.
Yes, and here's the thing, especially with Brother Jacob. Like, he's not trying to blow smoke or anything like that. Like he says in this, he's like, look, I didn't know they were the topic nor what they did. I just mentioned it. And here's the thing: there is conversation going on right now that has nothing to do with what Pearl did, but just in general. right? Especially like Fresh and Fit, they're in Vegas. And they had one of those kind of Avenger type shows when they brought in some big YouTubers in the male space again. And they had Saint in the Center on there, like Marquez. I always pronounce his name wrong, but they had like Marquez on there. I think I'm pronouncing it correct. They had Michael Sertan on there. They had Aaron Clary on there. They had the crypto guys on there. They had Jay Waller on there. And they were talking, it was like, forget about dating. They were talking geopolitics. They were talking racism in American politics. And even up on that show, it came in to where racism in the world, because there were guys at the table who live in different countries. So they were talking about that. So when I saw your comment, I immediately went to that. I was like, well, maybe you watched the show, because there's a lot of people talking about that. There are a lot of people who are well traveled and they've seen it firsthand. So I wasn't jumping to conclusions. I was just like, no, you're right. And that's why I said what I said. You're right. Wonderful 34s in the house. What's good, fam? Sister Take Heed, she's like, it was a bad decision. It was a bad decision what she did. And I'm curious how bad it's going to turn out for her. And then you had Miss AKA lady. I agree. She had all of the talking points down packed. She could recite RP points like the Bible. To me, she sounded like she found a lick and milked it. Absolutely. But I was never the target audience. So, I'm biased. But you're right. She figured out a way to make some money, and she's getting paid. Like when you look at the number, the amount of subscribers she has, the amount of views she gets, and all that kind of stuff. The super chats and all that, the donations. She's making money, but she needed money to start that, right? And
real
she
quick,
comes from money.
I want to apologize to Jacob. Jacob, real quick, man. I've been on quite a few panels the last few days. DL, you know me, bro. I really like speaking up for the vulnerable. This weekend, I've been called all sort of gay and homosexual and fake military vet, all these different things, simply because I speak up for the LGBT community, because I speak up for women. Like, I don't know. I guess I thought that's what masculine men did. We speak up for the vulnerable. And so there's just been a lot of shit, man. And so, Jacob, my bad, bro. A lot of energy right now of just ain't shit people taking advantage of a lot of people in vulnerable positions, man. I'm tired of it.
And it's all good. And that's why, like, when I speak on this kind of thing, like, you got to talk about it. I won't spend a lot of time, and you won't see a lot of videos from me on this. You know what I mean? Because I'm more concerned with what's going on with the financial situation right now. Like the banks are collapsing around the world, and here we are talking about Pearl. Like, Deutsche Bank is in trouble right now. Yo, Miss AKA lady, y'all keeping up with that? Deutsche Bank's in trouble. You know what I mean? So that's the second big European bank. You know what I mean? You had the Swiss having to bail out what is it? Credit Suisse. So what's the name of their bank?
Credit Suisse, yeah. One of the big Swiss bank had to buy them out before they went under. You know what I mean?
Right. And now we got this thing. Like, it was UBS, I think, had to step up and buy them out, and they're trying to work that out. And now you got this Deutsche Bank thing. So I'd rather be talking about that, to be 100 with you. But we can't let this go, man. And like I said, this is I Really Want to Know podcast, so we really got to delve into it. Brother Jake was like, nah, no problem. You good. Appreciate that, bro. And over here, man, people get it. And like, he even said that, like, yeah, that's where he heard it from. Like, people are there are platforms out there that are talking more than just dating. And here's the thing. Pearl's trying to pivot into more geopolitics, man, maybe more political kind of stuff. It was a bad move. Why? Because if she put all the people that she used to get on in a terrible position, right? King Richie's like is, a business partner. He's part of the platform. She pays him. He's there. What is he gonna do?
Just the mention of his name will have sponsors dropping like flies.
Possibly, but here's the thing, though. I haven't met him personally, but I've watched enough of his content to understand that this guy's a real dude. He's standing on what he stands on. He aligned himself with someone who did this. What does he do? What's his next move? MTR made it clear where he stands. We're about to watch the video. We're about to start getting into this video. He made it clear where he stands. Mel King eventually is going to have to say something. I don't know if she's still traveling or she's spending time with her family, but she's going to have to say something. Like, there's this line been drawn in the sand, and now you got to get on one side or the other. And you got people who are going to be mad like, dang, Pearl, I thought you was bigger than this. What are you doing? Or do you believe this stuff? You said that, you know, that possibly slavery, although it was bad, it wasn't as bad as people are making it out to be. Word. Like I've been through some bad stuff in my day.
My man, that dude is a self-described white nationalist incel. He literally started the American First Pact with that Marjorie Taylor Greene crazy, where they had the neo-Nazis out there doing the salute.
Yeah, like you would not replace this type of people.
The Jews will not replace. Like, come on, guys. Like Pearly, what? That's what I'm saying. I can't give her the benefit of the doubt. You just can't with somebody like that.
You just can't. Miss AK Elliott is saying, honestly, she is a white woman who comes from wealth. This pivot may work for her. She could easily be accepted by that audience. Yes, but that audience isn't part of that 1.3 million. You feel me? You're right. But how much of that audience is going to jump on? I don't know. Brother Penny Jules, what's good, fam? How you feeling? UBS bought them out. Thank you, bro. Appreciate that.
Here's the crazy thing, Dio. You know I rock with a lot of crazy, people. White supremacists are smart enough to not bring Nick Fuentes up because they know they need to speak in code or their platforms are going to get shut down. Or even they know not to bring his ass on these shows. Like, oh.
Now, and here's the thing, even playing devil's advocate, you go back to y'all know I'm old. I came up doing the talk show era.
Yeah.
Jerry Springer would have a bunch of Klan members on stage with a bunch of Black Panthers. And it's like, well, I know people are going to watch this. It's going to be crazy. And Jerry Springer's Jewish. You know what I mean? But he still would do it, and he did it for the show. Now, here's the thing. As a content creator, and I know I'm new to the space, but there's certain people I won't bring on. There's certain people I really don't want to talk to. You know what I mean? And it's like someone like Tekashi 6ix9ine. You feel me? It's like, all right, someone asked me like, yo, if I can get Tekashi on your show, would you do it? It was a hypothetical. And I was, my initial answer was no. Like, nah, I really won't want Tekashi on there. Like, why? Like, man, dude, he a snitch. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like, he did what he had to do to get himself out of the situation, but man, he ain't gangster like that, bro. I can't have him. But then I said, well, hold on. If I could get him on the show and he's not over the top, being stupid, bombastic, saying all the crazy stuff, he would sit down and explain why he was been doing what he's doing and being honest with it. Like, well, this was the only way I can move my music. And I really wanted to get there and at all costs. So I knew it was risky, but I did it. And if we had that conversation where he's just telling the truth, then I would say, yeah, I want to sit down.
But Dio, you already know in that hypothetical, you want to let him get off easy. You'd be asking him some tough questions.
Oh, absolutely.
Same thing with and people got to remember that with Jerry Springer. Yeah, he did that. But there were some tough questions. And there's a reason he didn't just bring the Klan. He brought them with the Black. Y'all got to talk to each other. Right.
And that's when the famous chair got thrown.
Yeah. Hurley basically gave, the way she went about it, she gave this man a platform.
Yep.
A way to level up. That's why this is completely, oh man.
It's just horrific. Miss AKA lady, she did screw her people over. I wonder if she consulted with her team prior to accepting the interview. If so, I wonder if they discorded. I wonder if they discorded. I'm pretty sure that if you have 10 Black folks on your team and you say, hey, we about to bring on Nick Fuentes, I would safe to say that 50% of them off jump's going to say no. Like, no, I don't. At least 50% going to be like, no, if you're going to do it, I don't want to be here because I'm going to put my hands on the guy, right? And from Fuentes' point of view, he knows who he is. I don't think he's going to come into that space unless you can guarantee his safety.
This is true.
So, she did it. She did what she did. Now, let's look at, we're going to get into what old boy was saying. And this is MTR and what he has to say about what's going on. So let's check this out, y'all.
I wish you luck, and I don't.
Wow.
I really don't. I don't wish luck to racists.
Oh, I'm not racist.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are, Nick.
Yeah, I am a little bit racist.
And the Italians, we do not claim you.
Oh, hey, the Italians don't claim you. You're the one dating a black guy.
And right there, if I'm in the room, dude getting punched.
You getting chin checked on the spot.
Dude getting punched for that. But I'm an older guy. I come from a different background, a different generation. Let's continue. And shout out to MTR.
I'm not going to beat around the bush for this conversation, and I'm going to get straight to the point. Pearl, you f***ed up. You knowingly invited a white supremacist and a self-proclaimed racist onto a platform which is primarily supported by, at least initially, and produced by black people. This comes across as insensitive to downright nasty. And
this is a guy, again, he was just on her platform. He was just
and
on
you know
that.
what, GL? He's doing the same thing you're doing. You see it, maybe you process a little bit, and you gotta say something.
You gotta say something. You
Gotta
can't let
respect
it
that
ride.
straight up. Yeah.
And that's why I'm doing it, because I ain't gonna lie to you. I never rocked with MTR. I never rocked with him. I just didn't. I mean, I kind of looked at him a certain way. I'm like, I ain't really gonna rock with this dude. I respect the hell out of the man now. I tell you that. I will start supporting him. You will start seeing DL saying up in his lives.
At least we know this man's got a line, right?
He has a line. He has a line. Brother Jason's in the house. What's good, fam? Good to see you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Bro, but let's continue. Let me pull this back up and let's continue, man. This is crazy.
Yep.
I want to be clear. It's not just inviting said person to the conversation that's upsetting, because conversations with people who don't agree with each other or don't agree with a particular position, if done in a healthy way, can promote civil discourse. But your up was to not only not defend the people who help create the content on your platform, but to also push a narrative that is insensitive and damaging to those very same people. Pearl, you know that your staff is mostly black people. And I'm talking about from a production perspective as well as a talent perspective. You also know that the majority of your content utilizes black people talking about black relationship issues. You could have had black people sitting in the same room with this person in order to combat some of the hellacious things that were coming out of his mouth, or to have a different perspective that would have lent itself well to demonstrate the respect for the people that watch your content and that you employ. I don't think.
And one of the things with this, you know, you're looking at someone like Pearl or whatever, and they're in the United Kingdom. This guy is really talking some Nazi stuff. Let's just keep it 100. He's denying the Holocaust, whatever. So many citizens of the United Kingdom gave up their lives fighting Hitler and his hordes. You know what I mean? And now all Germans were Nazis. I understand that. No one understands that more than me. You know what I mean? Being a soldier.
Right.
But when we get to, you're in Europe, right? She's only a couple hours away from Dachau, from Auschwitz. They're still there. So you're sitting next to a guy who says, well, you know, the Holocaust. What's she saying? Well, I mean, I don't know much about that. That is a lie. You come from the 1%. You have an education. I know they, especially World War II, right? I know that you understand that war,
right?
right? That's the last war that the 1% actually fought in.
Yep.
You know what I mean? En masse. You know what I mean? So come on now. It's like you fought, Pearl, you know that. You know what's going on with that. So
I love that whole, I don't know. Okay.
And that's what he's so upset about. Like I said, keep it 100. Like, bro, you deny the Holocaust for real? You deny that. But the thing is, and then Pearl slides into the whole slavery thing. Like, that comment was just, man, like, why would you do that, shorty? You know what I mean? Brother Mandrell's in the house, man. What's good, fam? Me and Mandrell, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. We spent a couple hours talking about this. I was like, man, I don't know if I want to do a show on it. Then he's like, man, you got to watch it, DL. And I'm like, all right. So I actually went, I watched it, and I'm like, oh, yeah. 45 minutes later, here we are. You know what I mean? So, Mandrell, the link is in there, bro. I pinned it to the top, bro. But let's continue with the video, man, because this and listen, look at MTR is really hurt. If y'all could, really listen to his pain.
I think that your platform would be as big as what it is today if it wasn't for the essential utilization of Black people, Black relationship topics, and Black talent. And the talent came from all over. When you include the likes of an Andrew Tate, all the way to a Brittany Renner. And even from a content creator perspective, from me to a Melanie King, to a Sarah Garvey, to a King Riches, to an Auntie Jenny. So for those just unaware of what's been going on, Pearl has recently come under fire for these particular comments.
I'm trying my Africans in America, my Africans. Oh gosh.
Oh boy.
They're
You're
gonna
gonna
be
get
in trouble.
yourself.
This sounds similar to the slavery stuff too, because that's literally the founder of, or the guy who made Roots said, I wanted a myth for my people to live by. So they often, but that's what they do, is they embellish. And I'm not trying to say it wasn't horrible, it was.
Right.
But they want to make it like more horrible so that they can control people.
Now what's crazy,
Bro, we want to make
the more I hear this, the worse it gets. This is like my multiple. God,
bro, there's no getting around. It's like, why? The fact that you're cool saying it. The fact that you're cool saying it on a platform, be like, bro. And I don't know who the producer was, but like, I'm like, okay, who is the producer? Who is sitting there mixing this down? Who's working the sound right now? Listening to this, like, damn, Pearl, like you, and that's when that's when I was like, oh yeah, there's no defending this. Now here's the thing, my take on this: be as racist as you want. I want you to say it. I believe in free speech. I want to know who I'm dealing with. Because like with Pearl, I was like, yeah, I wouldn't mind working with her. You know what I mean? I was putting stuff in place, like, all right, setting the stage, like, okay, reaching out. And she's she will hit you up. You want to talk to Pearl? Send her a DM. She will check you out and see what's going on. Very business minded. But I can't rock with this. I just can't. I can't rock with this. Like, bro. But again, I'm glad she said it because now I know.
I mean, DL, it's when you're gonna have conversations with some controversial people like this. You know, Miss Lady has said it in a previous comment that like your money and morals. But there's still got to be some line you're not gonna cross. You know, it's got to be some line you can't cross, and she walked right on. I mean, for God's sakes, the lady in the background checked Nick Fuentes, and she's sitting right there. Like, if you're gonna bring Nick Fuentes on, you're supposed to make it so, hey, you're gonna challenge his views, right? And since we're talking about the red pill space, he's a self-described incel as well.
Right.
So you check him on that as well. You give him heart.
Yeah, they say dude's a virgin. You know what I mean? He definitely an incel. That's like, you know, you would have to call this dude black pill. But again, to even have that conversation, it's like, bro, you can't just let it run free. Like, you bring this one woman on here and the stuff that he was saying about, well, the Italians don't accept you because your boyfriend is black. It's like, oh man, dude, right there, like, man, gotta do something to him.
She just sat there.
She just sat there. Yo, Dr. B's in the house. What's good, fam? Yes, this is all over. You know what I mean? We got Brother Lou up in here, bro. What's good, man? Good to see you, fam. Sound like Ross Perot, my Africans. Yeah, and here's
right, Lou.
Here's the thing, y'all. I have given people passes on this sort of thing, but who got the pass? Old people got the pass. You know what I mean? You gotta. Back in the 1990s, I'm talking to a 70-year-old white man. He's getting a pass. Why? Because he's trying. He'll say the wrong word, but he's trying. It reminds me of a scene from Red Tails when they're in the bar with the bomber pilots, and they didn't want to let the pilots in because they were black. The bar wouldn't let them in, and then they're walking away, and then some pilots walk up and say, "Hey, aren't you fellas the Red Tails?" "Yeah, we the Red Tails. What's up?" "Man, I'm Captain so-and-so with this bomber squadron. You with us." And they walked them into the bar and they're like, "These are the Red Tails." And all those white bomber pilots got up, bought them drinks, shook their hands, and had a conversation. Now, I know this is movie Hollywood magic, but I'm sure something loosely like that happened.
A lot of that did happen in real life with them boys, man.
And here's the thing. So when I'm talking to an old man from the South, especially, and he's trying, like he'll call me boy, but then he'll stop. I'm sorry. I know you're a man and I respect you. And then they'll say stuff like, you're not like the others. I'll give you a pass on that because I know what you truly mean. You're just struggling with your words. But someone like you younger than me and you popping off like this, nah, bro, there's no respect in that at all, especially when it comes to race. There's no respect in that at all. So, yeah, and Dr. B is like, yeah, man, this is buzzing around the internet. It most certainly is. I mean, it's buzzing around YouTube. It most certainly is.
I mean, think about the guy, the old white guy you talking about, right? And then think about a lot of the boomer generations and that. Even if they're fence riding, sort of saying some racist stuff, one thing they don't mess with is defending Nazis. They say straight up, the enemies. That is our enemy. We still call them our enemy today. And so when I look at people, especially the Nick Fuenteses of the world, the extreme right-wingers and some of the conservatives, I go, well, how do you square you saying you're so patriotic, you love the military, rah, rah, and then you go out here and spread some Nazi crap, our biggest enemy in our history.
Real talk. It doesn't work. And you can't square that. I mean, when people talk about, they talk about America getting to the moon. And do you believe the moon landing was fake? Like, no, I believe it was real. We went to the moon 100%. We went more than once. But here's the thing. We couldn't get there without Nazis. The guy who led that program worked people to death.
Yep.
During the war, he worked people to death. People who were stuck in these concentration camps that were Jewish, they were political dissidents, right? There were gypsies, they might have been, like LGBT, whatever. Just people, they were handicaps. He would work them to death and put their bodies up on the gate as a reminder to everybody else. If you don't work hard, this is what happens to you. Starve people to death, work them to death. That Nazi, I don't even want to say his name. That Nazi is the reason we went to the moon.
Yep.
Right. So, and then the other Nazis that the Russians caught helped them build their rockets. That doesn't even square.
Yeah, we use them to compete against each other. It's crazy. But you know what they don't talk about? You know what the Nick Fuentes don't talk about? And it's crazy because I don't know if a lot of Americans know this. Because you think what I'm about to say right now should be common knowledge because it's a massive flex. Do you know that Albert Einstein co-chaired the NAACP in his area? Do you know that when he was teaching at Princeton and they wouldn't let the Black Americans there, he let them in his house and was teaching them, and he got an honorary degree from Lincoln University, the first HBCU ever opened in this country, and was an active member against the fight of racism. By the way, he was going to be a character witness in defense of W.E. Du Bois in court, and the judge dropped the case when they found out that Einstein was going to be testifying on his behalf. That's a flex. I'd be shouting that to the moon, but we don't talk about that.
We don't talk about a lot of stuff. And Mandrew, I'll see you back there. I'm gonna pull you up here in 1 second. We don't talk about a lot of stuff. And here's the thing. Einstein had to flee Europe.
Yep.
Had he not, he would have died in the camps. Think about that. That's what the Nazis were doing. They could care less.
Care less about your intelligence. You was just the wrong ethnicity.
And then he comes over here. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, Joe, you're a little blurry. I don't know if your camera is dirty. You know, maybe greasy thumbs, them greasy fingers on the camera.
No, the camera's not dirty. It's just, it's out of focus for some reason. Oh, okay. I'm trying to get it to act right.
How you doing, man?
What's going on, man? Normally, when you put your finger in front of it, it focuses. It gives us something to focus on. Then it clears up. There you go. Yeah.
See, leave it to a weapons sergeant to figure out the equipment. I can't. Hey, something's wrong with my German machine gun. Hey, you got a piece of paper and some paper mache? All right, you just go ahead.
Hey, I need a paper clip too.
In a paperclip. You
gotta have that in a rubber band. Paperclip and a rubber band. You know what? Quietness is kept. You'd be amazed at what a paperclip and a rubber band will do. It'll fix a lot of shit.
And we're gonna save that for another show. You know what I mean?
It'll fix a lot of stuff.
Save that for the weapon show. So Brother Mandrell is certainly up to speed on what we're talking about. I'm gonna play a little bit more of the video, and then I'll get your we'll bring you into the conversation. Before I do that, Demac 2323, Rolo warned this would happen the same week interview happened. Oh, the same week of the interview happened. Oh, Rolo warned of this. Rolo was very, very leery of Pearl. Apparently, she reached out to him early on. She was very, very leery of Pearl. And that's funny that Rolo warned on this, because I haven't, Rolo would do a 5-hour stream. It ain't nothing. You know what I mean? But I'm surprised, good looking out, bro. Good looking out. So let's go back to the video. Let's check this out. And then when we come back, we're gonna start with Brother Mandrell.
Crazy is that I came across these comments while I was live streaming a couple of days ago. And what started out as a laughy, jokey live stream where I wanted to talk about my time up in London quickly diverted to one of the worst live streams that I've ever had in my life. And honestly, it was a trip to hell as I discovered the magnitude of the conversation that she had with this figure by the name of Nick Fuentes, specific to the comments regarding slavery being embellished. I said this on the stream and I maintain it today, that Pearl needs to be held responsible for this comment. Likening a quote from the writer of Roots explaining a myth for his people to hold on to does not negate the documented history of the atrocities that happened to Black people. And I'd argue that Roots was a light depiction of the savagery that my forefathers had to go through to ensure that I would be here today. But let me explain a little bit further how thoroughly that this actually is, because for me, it comes down to a question of ethics. You're interviewing a known Nazi sympathizer and an anti-Black creator and not offering any pushbacks whatsoever. And in fact, you're adding.
Yo, I had to stop it right there. That's valid as I don't know what. No pushback whatsoever. Man, Jerry, I said you get the first say, man. So what's up, bro?
I told you. I told you.
I
told you from day one. You first mentioned pearly things. I told you.
He did.
Stay away from that one. Yeah, but business starts visit. All money ain't good money, DL. All money's not good money. There's some people you cannot do business with. Charleston White is another one. I will never do business with Charleston White. I will never do business with him. Anyone who brags about assaulting women to the point where it's advocacy for it. I can't be seen in the same state with you. If I got something to do with it, you know what I'm saying? And then just pearly things. Here's the tell that gave me. Here's the tell. The tell was, okay, she took Kevin Samuels' talking points and Fresh and Fit talking points, and that's what she recited. All right, it's not genuine, but I see the hustle and I respect the hustle. Hey, you can make your money the easy way, make your money the easy way. Go ahead. It's legal, fine, whatever. But it's when Black men started touting her and shouting her out and giving her all this adulation. I said, whoa, fellas, hold up. Y'all don't see the hustle? Yeah, we see the hustle. Then why you bigging her up like that? That's stupid. You don't big. I respect the hustle. I respect her making the money, but that's not something you big up. You didn't create anything. I respect Kevin because Kevin had his own mind. And yeah, he got some of his ideas from this person or that person, but Kevin gave it his own context.
Hey, confirmation bias is a hell of a drug.
Right. Kevin gave it his own context. Kevin would talk to women live, unscripted, and hold his own, not only hold his own, but out debate these women with logic and common sense. Pearly just regurgitates things she's heard and things people have told her. So like I said, she's a fraud. And I was like, okay, now she's got all this stuff going on. She comes from money, number one. And people who come from money, they don't know what it is to earn something. in the same way that we do, in the same way that normal
what
people
state
do.
is she from?
I don't know what state she's from, but
I want
know
to say
she comes
she's
from
from
affluence.
Flower. I want to say somewhere in Flower Country, bro. Honestly, I don't think she's from a big city. But I could be wrong. I really don't know where. In the chat, if y'all know where Pearl is from, because y'all drop it in the chat for us, let us
She
know.
better not be from a Union state either.
And the thing is, like, she's not. Her context is going to be off because rich people, rich kids who grow up rich, yeah, they earn their grades and stuff like that. Most of them. I'm not saying they don't. However, when it comes to earning your grades, helping your parents around the house, helping your parents bring money to pay bills, things like that, you know what I'm saying? She has no context with that, with no like that. So it's just when black men started bigging her up, shutting her out, and then when she got this title, the Queen of the Manosphere, I'm like, number one, it's a manosphere. Why are women in it? Number two, if it's a manosphere, why does it have a queen to begin with? Number three, if it's a black manosphere, why is it a 6 foot tall white woman? And then look at her. And then all this.
That can't be. Oh my God.
Yeah, they're saying she's from Chicago, boy. That's like, you want to talk about Union? Don't get no bluer than that when it comes to Union, Chicago.
And my thing is, to top it all off, everything that the black manosphere says that women should be, she's none of that. She's none of it. No feminine, beautiful, inspirational. She don't inspire me to do shit. She ain't fit because she's skinny fat. And she ain't feminine. Listen to the stuff coming out of her mouth. Those are male talking points. You know what I'm saying? I mean, fit, feminine, beautiful, inspirational. She don't inspire me to do anything except vomit when I look at her.
Hey man, like she's not a very attractive woman. It is what it is. Miss AKA lady is saying, I didn't like how Fresh and Fit let Charleston White free brag about graping and disrespecting women, but badger women guests who take more responsibility when graped. Not a good look, but that's how they feel. The only pushback I'll give you, and I could be wrong, you can correct me with a clip or if you can see it. Charleston White, yes. Brother Mandrell has already pointed me in the right direction. He does brag about that sort of thing or whatever. Fresh and Fit, no. They did a show about how grape culture is basically fake news with Rollo Tomasi, and they were talking about like the whole college thing when they say that the numbers and all that. They did that debate, but I've never heard them say that women need to take responsibility for being assaulted. I've never heard them say that. I have heard people like Andrew Tate say, you need to think about what you're doing and take responsibility for putting yourself in situations.
Right, but Fresh and Fit has co-signed that exact message. And by the way, DL, can you please remind the audience where Andrew Tate is currently sitting at right now?
Yeah, Andrew Tate is being held without charge in a Romanian prison. That's where he's being held. He's being held without charge.
It's a conspiracy too.
It's just no. I'm just, you asked me where he is. That's where he is. I just, and that's it. I don't really want to delve into that because now we're talking about right. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to say this and I'm going to get off of it. But if we did business the way Romania does business, Donald Trump would be locked up and been locked up for the past year and a half.
He would have got locked up before in 2015.
Right.
I agree with that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we are, and that's like we just say it's wrong. We can always revisit this if y'all want. We can revisit this, but but not. I mean, not to you. But we don't talk about. Yeah. But the point is that and I respect what Miss AKA lady is saying. She's like, that's how I feel. I ain't mad at her. Whenever I talk about Fresh and Fit or stuff in the manosphere, what do I say? I don't agree with everything. There's a lot of stuff I do agree with. So, and I will say this, and then we'll move on to continue on with Pearl. If I go out tonight with $100,000 cash in my pocket and $500,000 around my neck, and I go to the worst parts of Tampa.
Yeah, you asking to get got. Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's what it is. Now, do I deserve to get got? Nope. According to the law, no. But according to the streets, yeah. Like, yo, dumbass, you did what? And that's what I was. If Mandrell called me and said, yeah, I got robbed, because I was, carrying $100,000 and I told everybody I had the money on me and I wasn't armed. I'm like, bro, what you want me to do about it? You're supposed to get robbed. Now, it's not right. And again, that was the message they were putting out there. And again, that's my light pushback, sister, Miss AKA lady. It's just, I hear you. We should be able to do whatever we want free of being, assaulted or attacked or worse. like those people who went down to Mexico. They should have been free to go to Mexico and get some sort of medical procedure and not get, shot up, not get deleted. But the cartel did apologize.
Oh.
For what is
I'm glad she ain't from Cleveland, man. Yeah, you got no problem.
You see, Brother Lou Woo, I was afraid it was Detroit. Thank the Lord, Chicago can have her. Wow. But let's get back to Pearl. And Brother Mandrell, man, I hear you, man. Like, I was that guy, man. Ain't lying. I was like, yeah, bro, I'm looking at Pearl, man. I'm like, nah, look at her, bro. I gotta respect her hustle. Look what she doing. Da 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 da. You like DL? Not that one. You better be careful. I'm like, what do you mean? Quit hating. Quit hating. You're like, all right.
My instincts are never wrong. They're never wrong, dude. There's something not right about that chick. And number one of them was, like I said, I respect the hustle and everything, but it was fake. The hustle was fake, not genuine. So I'm like, okay, people like that, you really have to sleep with one eye open, if you sleep around them at all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It basically ended up being the racist version of that Russian spy that infiltrated the NRA a few years back and got them all cut up in the campaign.
The female? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, and I get that. So, and then Miss AK, I just, because we started this dialogue, I want to finish it with her. She's like, okay, but keep that same energy when the grapists show up in the studio. They let Charleston ride without objection. True. But it's the woman who need to move better. But I'm off the topic. No,
and I also like this. Let me add this. And Miss AKA lady, you're probably gonna love this because you're now on the same page for once. I'm kidding. I actually agree with her a lot. Okay. All the heat black men give black women. All the negative stuff, all the dragging they do for black women, all this, and you tout out, this is what you hoisted up as your queen. A woman who don't even like you. And you still got people like they're defending it. You see why, DL? You see, now last night, Teruse, I don't know if you saw this part of that show. I said, I was on another platform. I said, when it comes to black people, it's a wrap. Ain't no black community coming back. It's over. You got a lot of black guys, a lot of them, still defending her. When you got that going on, it's over.
And it's like, damn, man.
It's
you
a
know
wrap.
how much I want to disagree with you, but
I know man. It's a wrap. I want black people I just want black people to be better. That's it.
Yeah.
I love black people. However, when you support that, I'm like, how much more evidence do you need? Well, but see, there's no but see with that. You can't play around with it. It's not a game.
It is not a game. Brother Timothy Wooten's in the house. What's good, fam? Thanks for coming through. So let's take it there. Let before we continue the video, let's take it there. What should the black community be doing now with regard to just pearly things?
Oh, can I go, Mandrell?
Go ahead.
Exactly what MTR did. And guess what? You only need to, like DL, this needs to be the only live stream you have to do on this. It's the fact that you did it in the response, in the time that you did it. Just like MTR. The problem is going to be the black content creators who drag their ass, act like, oh, I'm on vacation, right? Maybe send out some vague tweet. Black content creators, you need to be just as fast as DL and MTR is about the response. That's what needs to happen. And you don't need to drag it out. Just one response and be done.
But and Mandrell, what do you say?
Oh, completely ignore her. Don't watch your content. Unsubscribe if you subscribe. And hit her in the only way she understands money. That's the only thing people from money understand. Money. Do not support her. Do not watch her. You know, and like Tarus just said, do things like what you're doing and NTR has done. Respond to it in the proper way, and tell your audience to not support her. You can't. What, you know what I'm saying? Because if now it's going to cause more people to watch her, you're paying her to say that stuff.
Now, Brother Mandrell, you about to be real mad. Trigger alert, Brother Mandrell.
Go ahead.
You are agreeing with Miss AKA lady. They
I'm
need
not,
to ignore her.
Right.
Please silence. Pay her dust. You and the AK is on the same page, Mandrell.
Miss AKA lady, be careful.
Yeah. Pearly could stay her ass across the pond.
Say stay over there for sure.
Let me say KA later. I'll make you fall in love with me. But leave it
Oh, see, this was wrong with black folk, man.
Gone.
We at war right now. And what Mandrill doing? Can't get nothing done, black folk, man. No, I'm just playing. You know what I mean? Brother Von's in the house. What's good, Brother Von? Always a pleasure, brother. We over here talking about just Pearly things and what's going on. Brother Lou is saying we should have Pearly clarify her beliefs specifically concerning black people because black people forgive so easy anyways.
No. Now you're giving her time to come up with some kind of excuse. No, we heard you the first time. We heard what you said. We heard. I don't need to hear anything else. You said it. Clarify. What's to clarify? She thinks the slavery was exaggerated. Okay, she doesn't believe us, even though all the historical evidence says otherwise. Using black babies, infants, as gator bait when they hunt alligators.
Yeah, strange fruit, bro. Again, and here's the thing, man, because I have people come up to me in real conversations, y'all. I'm not trying to talk stuff. Yeah, I notice I'm trying to keep my language good because I'm trying to get monetized on YouTube. They don't like any bad words these days, but sometimes you just can't get around it. But here's the thing. Historically speaking, DL, Irish were slaves in the Americas during the same time frame. All right, bro. Okay. Show me the picture of the Irishman whose back was ripped apart by the lash. Show me that picture. I'll concede the point. Show me the picture of a group of Irishmen swinging from a tree, strange fruit. Show me that picture, and I'll concede the point. It is a different type of violence that was inflicted on people that look my ancestors than were inflicted on the Irish ancestors who were here. That's all I'm saying.
And that's crazy, Theo. I'm so glad you said that because I just remembered she's of Irish descent, right? Or of Scottish background. Is she also unaware of how the British were treating the Irish back in the day, or still kind of do?
To this day, the IRA exists for IRA exists for a reason. The Irish Republican Army is there for a reason. They did some damage. Miss AKA lady for Mandrill. I'm gonna buy Mandrill a pink and green hat. So there is, and fellas, I just want to put this out there. I just make sure we're clear. In the chat, please let me know. Is there any way that someone like Pearl who's done this thing, is there any way that she can recover from this sort of thing?
Yes, because I have to agree with Lou. Black people, especially today in the content space, are very forgiving people.
But not just that. I mean, is there a way that just Pearly things can make amends that's acceptable to Roos, is what I'm asking. And then is it that's acceptable to Mandrill? That's what I'm asking. So Roos, you first, and now bring Mandrill up.
Nah, but you already knew I don't rock with her. You already knew I thought she was a grifter from day one. So no.
No way. So, Brother Mandrill, is there a way that just Pearly things can make amends as far as you're concerned with respect to what she said and what she's done?
No. No. Not with me. Personally, no. See, once you go there with me, it's no, I can't. I don't even need to have a conversation with you because now I know where you stand, and that's cool. That's fine. I can coexist with you, even though I disagree with you. You know, I've worked with people who are racist. I've covered the backs of people who are racist. They've covered mine. I mean, avid, staunch, you know what I'm saying, racist. Yeah. You know, I mean, been in foxholes with them, literally.
Yeah.
No, DL, you know same question to you.
But for me, with her after she said that, okay, you know. Until your perspective changed, and now I don't know why. If you tell me your perspective has changed, I don't believe you. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying.
Hold on.
Me,
so you're saying there is possibly a way?
No, not for her. No.
Okay.
She's done too much damage. She's done too much. She's shown too much of her hand. Well, you know, African Americans are just lazy, and the Africans, my Africans work really, really hard. They do this, they do that. I don't want to hire a black American. They're too lazy. Where have I heard that from?
All right, yeah, you're right. There's no getting around that. I was just about to, and this was for Tarus. I was gonna put myself up on the big screen, and I would say, but what? But no, there's no getting around that.
You've heard that before, Dio, a lot. You're a black man in America.
Listen, I'm gonna keep it 100. It's that type of rhetoric, it's that type of talk that keeps us out of these jobs, like air traffic control. I got into air traffic control, and people told me I didn't belong at the facility that I was at because I wasn't. Now, you don't have the background, you don't have the training, you don't have the this, you don't have the that. When I left there, I was one of the highest, most respected, hardest working air traffic controllers that facility I've ever seen. If they had a Hall of Fame, I'd be in it. And that's not me talking shit. Go ask anybody.
And you went to the Army for air traffic control, but you don't have the training. But
I don't have the training. So it's that type of rhetoric.
You did it in the Army. How do you not have the training?
It's that type of rhetoric. You know what I mean? It's just like there's no. That's how you feel, and that's the problem. When people talk about systemic racism, that's what we're talking about. It's that type of rhetoric. I had to work, and most people understand this. And again, I never hate the players, y'all. Y'all know I'm all about. I hate the game. I never hate the players. No one worked harder than me. I knew I had a lot. The curve was steep learning curve. I worked my ass off, and I can curse because Miss AKA lady gave me $10. Thank you, love. Thank you, love, for the $10 super chat. Touchy subject. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. They may play in your face with that monetization today. They will. So here's the thing. I worked my ass off. Not because I was trying to prove a point or anything like that. It's because I'm competitive. I'm a winner. And I understand there are losers out there. And I had to go out there and get it. And I did. You know what I mean? That's what it boils down to. I did. Sometimes when you have that kind of rhetoric out there, what Pearl is saying and all that kind of stuff with people who may or may not be racist, it's like, if you truly believe this, then how can you say I'm truly getting a fair opportunity, which is all I demand? I just want the opportunity. I'm not asking for, equality of the outcome.
You asking for opportunity. Big difference. Yep.
Give me the same opportunity that everyone else has got. Like this dude that right here next to me working is give me that opportunity. Well, he's an air traffic control natural. His dad was an air traffic controller. So it's nepotism. That's what it is. It's not the fact that I had to go through this hard road to get here. It's nepotism. And that's what it boils down to. So it's hard. It's really difficult. And I would say for me, impossible. This is a long way to answer Tarus's question, which was my original question. Is there anything that Pearl can do to make things right in my eyes? No, not me personally. Is there anything she can do to make things right for our community and as for society? Yes. Educate herself, admit her wrongs, and then try to turn around and continue to help people. My biggest problem was this with Pearl. Pearl was out there helping people of color. She was giving people the platform.
Where were they from?
Well, the black folk over in UK. Where she is.
Oh, okay. Who did she talk shit about? Us or them?
Yeah, she's talking about us.
Right. Who did she help? Them. So there's a clear bias here.
That people of color were useful until they weren't.
All right. Remember, Tarus, my Africans.
My Africans. Not you
Africans. My Africans. Or not you Africans, not the Africans. My African.
It's hard to get past that, y'all. Brother Jason says she's got to get pregnant by a black man. That'll make it. That don't
make it. No. I just want to have a mixed baby because it's fashionable to have mixed babies now in the white world. It is. I'm not making that up. Even affluent white people, white women, they get curious as well.
And how?
And they like the way mixed babies look. I hear them say it all the time, DL. They like the way mixed babies look. They're so cute. They're so beautiful. It's a perfect mixture of their, yeah. And black people have really good genes. Look at you, Mandrill. You have really good genes. I love your skin. What do you do for your skin?
Yeah, but you short, Mandrill.
I'm 5'8". I'm not that short.
I'm just
I know. Just because I'm not 6 foot tall like the rest of you giants. Okay, Sasquatches like yourself. All right,
I will say you got the good,
5'10", bro.
I will say you got the good hair, but
had the good hair. It's going away now. I'm gonna be like you in a couple. I'm gonna be just like you two here in a little bit.
Welcome to the set, Vato. You know what I mean? This AKA lady is saying she hasn't been relevant long enough to be forgiven for much of anything. But here's the thing: she's a million plus strong.
I wish that was true.
She's a million plus strong, and brother Timothy, her subscriber has gone up. So her subscriber count has gone up since all this has happened. Yep. Now the pushback is just starting to hit. We'll see where her count is. Because remember when Fresh and Fit had the issue with the dabble in the dark comment, right? When I went out there, man, their subscriber count, they took a pounding. And they doubled down and worked hard and they got it all back, but it took them time. They went through a phase, it might have been maybe 4 to 6 months, I think it was. They lost a lot of subscribers, and then the count came, and then they got them all back. And then some, of course. They like 1.2, I think it's like 1.2 million right now. But
if anybody understands the double standard and the fact that it's not fair, if anyone understands that, that's those two guys. They know that okay, they say something like that, they hit in the head with a bat. Woman says that, oh, tell me more. Subscriber. It's a double standard. It's not fair and it's messed up. But if anyone understands that, it's those two guys.
Yeah, I reached out to Fresh right before I started, and I don't have my cell phone next to me. Otherwise, I would see what his response. But I asked him like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" But again, they could be traveling. I know they're somewhere between Miami and Vegas. They're doing a lot of content out there. Brother Lewis saying, "I don't think she cares. People like her intentionally produce this content to low key audience for fake news, Fox News or etc. As a key audition for Fox News." Damn, that's a good point, bro, because she did that thing on Vice when they were talking to a lot of they had like feminists and trans people and people with disabilities, and they had like Pearl and some other woman who was not that. And that content got a lot of views. You're right. That could be her audition for Fox News. Luke.
And like Timothy said, her subscriber numbers went up. And let me tell you all who probably subscribed, the two main demographics. These self-hating black men and a whole bunch of white nationalists. Because now they went, oh, she's one of us.
Oh, so you think, and I think, was it Mandrill that said it or someone said it, so you think that this is just an invitation to that demographic and get the hardcore black pillars and the hardcore rare pillars over? That could be. Last good man in Jersey. Why are people mad at Pearl for doing the same thing Joe Rogan and others have done?
Can I answer that?
Yes, sir.
Because as much as Joe Rogan can be all over the place, he absolutely checks every last member of his audience, every last guest that says some racist crap out of his mouth. As much as Joe Rogan is all over the place, and I don't listen or agree with him a lot, he absolutely advocates when it's time to have these conversations about systemic racism stuff. And Joe Rogan isn't going to let Nick Fuentes or any of his guests just get that off without any pushback. You can go and watch Joe Rogan pushing back against clowns who even sound halfway like Nick Fuentes. Pearly Things did nothing. Nothing.
And you say that's the big problem. Last good man in Jersey is like, but that's not the question. Pearl isn't doing anything new. So what's the big deal? And here's the thing, y'all out there for real. On this platform, I really want to know. 100%, I really want to know. Don't be afraid, man. This could be an opportunity to learn. I really want to know. Now, if you coming off, if it's racist, I'm gonna tell you it's racist, right? And you know what's funny? You look like last good man in Jersey is a brother. He can say this and be like, we're gonna talk about it. But if a white dude said it, will we be pointing at that guy calling him racist and like, what's up, man? Meet me, you know what I'm saying? Meet me outside, pull up. You feel me? It's really hard. That's why I said at the top of the show, it's hard to have this conversation because it goes in circles and it never gets anywhere. There's no call to action anywhere. So I don't know.
And by the way, can I last good man in Jersey? She isn't doing anything new. Can you please tell the audience what white content creator you know has a majority black production staff and brings up white supremacists and gives them a platform to get their crap off? Because I haven't heard of one.
I know the answer. There is one.
Who?
No Jumper. Did the same thing 2 weeks ago.
Oh, man. And but look what happened to him, right? He got it way worse.
His team left. He didn't really get any pushback from, you know what I mean? That's what we got to wait to see what happens with her team. Kings and Queens. Yo, auntie is from the Caribbean. Yes. Because I know I know a little bit about that community over there. I don't know a lot. And I'm looking for anyone who's from the UK, anybody who grew up over there. I've been trying to get someone on the platform. I've been reaching out to strangers, just trying to get them on the platform. I want to know because I know it's a lot of West Indies, you know what I mean? A lot of African, I think West African, they migrate there, you know what I mean? So, because, Great Britain abolished slavery long before America did. Go watch the movie Amistad, pretty good movie, talks about that sort of thing. But
and the things we got to remember, because we've all watched the original clip, or not the clip, the entire video. Nick Fuentes was not talking about in the context of the UK.
He was talking. He was
this
on
right
worldwide
here
racism.
in Kings and Queens. I'm not accusing you of this, but this is the kind of rhetoric that lets people like Pearly get off, because they use narratives like this to defend and then do what about, and well, it wasn't really so bad. That's how comments like this is how it snowballs effect.
And Kings and Queens, and welcome to the platform, bro. Thank you for making the contents, man, for real. And please continue to engage, bro. And if you're from UK, man, let me know. If you're from the United Kingdom, or you know what I mean, or if you got knowledge, you got people over there, man, I really want to talk to you, man, because I'm curious. We know how American blacks react to certain, like, we know what we do over here. I don't know what they do over there, and I'm curious to know. And then Kings and Queens also, he said also the context was London, but it really was the world. They're talking to a world-renowned racist. And let's keep it 100. Fuentes, I can't.
How old is Fuentes?
He looks young, bro. I don't know how he is. I have to look.
Yeah, he's
like 23, 24, something like that.
Yeah. Hey, Teruse, what's wrong with your people, man? Why y'all got to beef with us?
Young people.
Bro, I'm still trying to wrap my head around that a guy named Nick Fuentes,
yeah, your people
is a white supremacist. Like, I'm still trying to just.
That's because white supremacy is an ideology. You got black white supremacists out there too.
You said black white supremacists.
You got black white supremacists. They share the same ideology as a white supremacist does. Wide nose having, breathing all the white man's air. It stank. You know what I'm saying? That whole crazy ideology. You have black people who believe that. Yeah. I mean, like what the content creator, I seen your little podcast is on Anton Daniels' channel, right? Anton Daniels was, as they were talking, and I seen your little podcast said that he was on Section 8, right? Anton Daniels says, I think he said you should die. Why? Because you're a grown man and you're on Section 8. And it's not how I mean, holy crap. I mean, DL. I get it. He should be doing the work to do better, but damn,
that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? You see, like I said, some people I can't do business with because of the things that you say in public. My brand cannot be associated with that, and all it would take is for one person to clip that up, post it. This is what Mandrill. This is the kind of person Mandrill does business with. He partners with this person, and then Mandrill owns this, and this. Do you buy those products? I know I don't.
Not anymore.
And that's all it takes is a campaign. Is a campaign commercial, and I'm done. Because I didn't say anything wrong, if I'm doing business with Anton, he said it wrong.
Right. And Anton Daniels and the lead attorney both collabed with Just Pearly Things recently. And it were good collaborations. There were good conversations. I've never really watched any of Anton Daniels' content. I did watch a lot of that when it was him the lead attorney, and Just Pearly Things, and the lead attorney and Just Pearly Things was on Saucecast on Valuetainment. So she was making the rounds and doing good things. I was watching her, like she's doing good things. But then this comes up and it's like, damn, I can't rock with you. Emmett 1988, Morrissey. Listen to Joe and Gavin. I think you're talking about Gavin Newsom, bro. I just escaped California a few years back, man. I don't want nothing to do with Gavin Newsom, player. If you talking about Gavin Newsom, man, I don't want nothing to do with that dude, bro.
Because in the next comment it says you are wrong. I think he's talking about Joe Rogan and this Gavin. I forgot what his name is, but he was the former leader of the Proud Boys or Bungalow Boys or whatever failed boy band group name they got.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
And that was okay. I didn't see that, bro. Sorry. And thanks for
but
clearing that up for me, brother.
They're two different content creators. But again, I just have to respectfully disagree with Emmett. I've seen Joe Rogan push back. Gavin, on the other hand, he absolutely peddles that crap. But that's just my opinion.
All right. I haven't watched enough. Like, again, I'm real. I like Rogan. I know Rogan. I've interacted with Rogan as a comedian. Good guy. But he has a lot of content out there. I ain't gonna lie. When I saw the N-word stuff, whoa.
Yeah,
I
haven't listened to Joe Rogan for years and years and years. I've been listening to him for years and years and years. I didn't know he had used the N-word like that, even a fraction of the amount of times. Like, so because someone clipped it up and clipped up every time he said it. It went on and on and on. I was like, my God, how did I miss all that?
Make it stop.
It was like that. It was to that point. I was like, how did I miss all that?
All the time I spent around Rogan in Hollywood, at the Comedy Store, at other venues, at other shows, all the times I spent around that guy, I never heard any like racist slurs of any group ever. So I was like, man, Dre, I was like, dang, man, again. It was just like getting body blow after body blow after body blow, like, make it stop. But last good man, Jersey, Joe Rogan checks facts, not opinions. Ben Shapiro says all kind of crazy stuff that goes unchecked. If it's factual. I don't watch a lot of Shapiro, but Shapiro, I look at Shapiro the same way I look at this Fuentes guy. Two little bitty men, guys who were afraid to stand up. These dudes,
it's actually funny because Ben Shapiro and Nick Fuentes have gotten into it public, huge spats. Like, Nick Fuentes has said some foul crap about Ben Shapiro.
They should get in the ring and really let it. Man, I'll pay so much money for that.
Neither one of them are man enough to do that.
No, yeah, of course not. Yeah, it'd be nice though.
Dino Dinosaurs in the house. Yo, we got fam dinos in the house. Said London is listening. London, where you at? London, stand up. Where y'all at, bro? If you for real, any London, hey, UK, y'all in here? Let me know, bruv. Look, I like snacks. Look behind me. You know what I'm saying, bruv? Like, I'll let your boy. I really want to know what's going on over there. You know what I mean? Dino Dinosaur, we don't have pill talk in UK. Dino, you from the UK? Bro, what's up, bro? I didn't know that. What's it? Hey, man, seriously, bro. If you could come up, man, I got tons of questions for you. You ain't got a cam up. I would just love to hear your take on this. What's it like growing up, and what does racism look like in London? Like, bro, seriously,
well,
what does it look like?
It's not the easiest life in the world there either. You know what I mean? To my understanding, because I got friends over across the pond. It's not the easiest life. It's nowhere near like it is here, though. Here it's out and out. Like, especially where I grew up in. I was born in the late 70s, 1978, which means I grew up in the 80s and 90s. In the 80s,
Kings and Queens in the back.
Yeah, they'll say
let me
it to your face.
We got London in the house.
Okay, London. Oi, mate.
Oi, bruv.
Hey, bro. What's up, man?
Yo.
What? Go ahead, Kings and Queens. Welcome to the show, bro. I'm DL Saint, man. This is Brother Taru's brother, Mandrell. Thank you so much for coming on, man. I really appreciate it, bro. I want to give you front and center, man. I want to give you stage, man. Give me a quick breakdown of what it's like, what racism looks like in UK, bro.
Yo, guys, let me just turn off what's in the back. Okay, cool. Yeah, how's it going, guys? Thanks for bringing us up, DL. You all right?
Yes, hey, my pleasure, bro. I got you front and center, man. Rock it out for us.
Yeah, what do you want to know?
Break it all the way down. Let me see if I can let me just pull me.
We want to know everything, bro. Everything.
Yeah, we want to know. Hey, this what I'm gonna do. Tarus, I'm gonna bring you down for a second, man. Drew, I'm gonna bring you down for a second, and I want Brother King to break it down for me, man. Listen. I'm 52 years old, man. I grew up in Cincinnati, Ohio, right? In Cincinnati, like Midwest, man. So I came from the streets, bro. Just keeping it 100. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm 54 years old, right?
There it is.
So,
We might be cousins.
Yeah, man. I was born in '68. I was born in London. I was born in South London. I'm not living in London anymore. I live just outside London. Growing up in it, you see, I'm a YouTuber as well, right? So I've got a little channel, not as big as yours. Just started doing it just the other day.
I'm coming to see you, man. Send me an invitation and I'm there, bro.
Yeah, man, 100%, man. You see, here's the thing, right? London is the UK is built on racism. It's as simple as that, right? The UK, you know, somebody said that London is the epicenter of racism. It's a simple, you know, the epicenter of imperialism and all those things going right the way back, right? It is, you know, that's just what it is, right? Lloyd's of London, all of the big buildings in central London, Trafalgar Square, all of it was built on slave money. Right, so let's not, you know, that is just a fact. You can Google it, you can study it. It's not the sort of thing they're going to teach you in school, but it's the sort of thing that you can learn if one bothers to learn. You know, it's you know that's just what it is to live here.
Can I jump in real quick? So when you say all of London is built on slave money, we're talking about like West Indies, or when the empire, when Great Britain was Great Britain, when the sun never set on the British Empire. That's the money we're talking about, like that from the slave trade.
Yeah, so something called the Industrial Revolution, which I'm sure you've heard of, could not have happened unless it were for slave money. The Industrial Revolution was built, or it happened, the industrialization of the West, or of Europe, but we're talking about the UK, could not have happened if it were not for slavery. It's that simple. Right, the whole of the Industrial Revolution happened and was built on specifically slave. Lloyd's of London, the trading house, used to be a coffee house, used to be about insuring ships, used to be about insuring slave ships. That's what it was all about. So you know, not making it up. That's it, and it's not that hidden. You know, it's just that it seems that because it's not taught in schools. You know, I mean, I learned it in school, but because it's not really, history in the UK isn't really taught in schools anymore. It's an option subject, right? Therefore, kids don't really know. And to be honest, I'm going to say this: it's the kind history and subjects like that are the kind of subjects that fathers teach their children. Mothers are not inclined to really drive home history. Drive home other things like media, you know, soft skills and bits and pieces like that. Maybe even becoming a doctor or a lawyer or something like that, but not history. You know, not that. That's what dads do.
Okay. So let's drive the conversation back to Pearl. What's your take on that? Being from that's your soil. This happened on your soil. Absolutely. You probably know more about the people like King Richie's and, you know, Auntie, I forget her name, Auntie, and all the rest. What's your take on this, bro?
Right. Okay. So there's two things, right? So Pearl, you know, that whole channel, right? If it were to simply stick to one thing, which is dealing with modern, independent, feminist-minded females, right? Western women, young feminists, right? There would be no real problem, right? There would be no real problem, right? Now, Pearl clearly wants to branch out and build a channel, whatever she wants to do, you know, build her empire, move out and do this, that, and the other. And I don't have a problem with that. The issue is the fact, and here's the other thing, and this has been said before, right? So if you are a black person, if you are of African descent, which is what we are, right? If you're of African descent, then you've got a vested interest in black images in the media. You've got a vested interest in all things related to whatever you are, right? You just got an interest in it, right? However, you know, it's not abstract. It's not just a load of black faces just like the white ones and they're all modern independent women. You know, it's not quite like that. You know, this is part and parcel of who and what you are to your core if you are black, if you are of African descent. However, somebody like Pearl, she doesn't have that attachment to it. Someone like Pearl, for her, it's all entertainment. It's as simple as that. And that's that really needs to be understood. That has to be understood. The actual show itself, as it stood, when they're just talking about modern, independent, feminist, young feminist-minded women, Western women, right? It's not an issue because they're all like that in London, right? In the UK, in the West, black girls, white girls, wherever you come from, if you're born and brought up socialized in the West, that is what you're going to be like. End of. All the girls in America, most of them are the same, no matter what color they are. All of them are the same. They're Western women. And even that racist, that little white racist, for what, that Mexican boy pretending to be white. Even he said that the epicenter, the ground zero of feminism is the West. That's the ground zero. And he's right. About that one point, he is right. Right. So if the show stuck to that, it wouldn't be an issue. The problem that with Pearl, her issue was, and again, everybody's already said it, MTR said it, lots of different people have said it, is that she got out of her lane. Not only did she get out, actually forget that, that's not true. I think she probably got into her lane, maybe, right? Because anyway, my view is that everyone who is white is a racist. That's my view, right? It's what you're talking about is a matter of degree, right? And in my view, you've got a racist and then you've got an anti-racist, right? If you're white, you've got to basically constantly be doing things in the anti-racist area. That's what you've got to be doing. That's what, because how else can you trust them? That's my personal view. But again, maybe I don't want to go too quick, right? So really, with Pearl, she made some quite clear, I'm not going to say mistakes. She said, I believe what was in her heart. I believe that her points of view came out. I believe that she was flippant, not by accident. She was flippant because she was flippant. She was flippant because that's just who she is. She was flippant with her remarks regarding her black staff, her African staff, because to her, all of it is a game and all of it is a joke. She invited this little white racist onto her program because for her, all of it is entertainment. And she miscalculated because clearly, I think now what she understands is that for us, for African heritage people, it's not all entertainment. All right. And I think that's been her, sharp learning curve, but it's too late. I think it's just all too late. I think you're still going to get young people going on because what you've got to understand is that it's purely been young kids going on her program, right? It's been young, and they're going to keep going on it. It's as simple as that. They're going to keep going on it. But she's who she is. She's she's a typical little white racist. But I want to make this clear as well. This is going to say what I'm about to say is going to sound very strange to people that are going to watch this. Right? You've got some quite nice, polite young racists. Just because somebody's a racist, that doesn't mean they're not going to be nice people. They're gonna treat you nice, probably make you tea. They're just racist. They're just racist. They're gonna smile with you. They're gonna ha ha he he with you. But they're just raving racists.
Wow.
And they're gonna think, and they're not gonna. They can't until you. There's not a lot you can actually do to actually. There's only one thing a racist understands, right? And that's force. Right, that's power and force, and the only thing they respect is when their opposition is stronger than them, and that's all they respect. And this is why a racist or racists can look at African heritage people, right? And because African heritage people are so disunited, not just in the West, because the issues between black men and black women in the West is mirrored with white people in the West. That's what You know that Mexican pretending to be a white person, that little racist. That's what he said, and he's right. Right? Our thing is building, if you like, with black women that want to build with black men. That might not be the black women in the West, though. That's the only thing. Does any of that make any sense?
A lot of it does, bro. And I brought the fellas back up, so if they wanted to jump in.
Hey, sir. Question from your perspective, paying attention to Pearly things and maybe this movement of the red pill area. And from your perspective, did you see any early signs of her maybe hiding behind her black production staff or anything as a way to basically push her to her bigotry, if you will? Like any early signs of that?
Well, you see, yes, I did, but only because I've studied white people, right? So in terms of her visible actions, but I'm going to be really honest with you. White people being what white people are, right? And I don't even mean this in a horrible way. I more mean it in a matter of fact way. White people being what white people are, they will, I've never met a white person who doesn't, in the end, act to type. I personally never have done. And again, that doesn't mean they're not going to be nice sometimes. And that's what we, this is the thing, right? Sometimes they're going to be really nice and they're going to do what's right and all the rest of it. And literally the following day, they're going to come off with some racist crap, right? That is what it is to be white. Right?
From your perspective, why do you think she came to London specifically? Of all the places she could have chose,
she came here to study. So basically, they're all media kids. And to me, all of them on that show, they're all, except for Auntie Jenny, all of them are children to me personally, right? So she came here to study. She went to study, I think, at UEL. UEL is the University of East London. Now, UEL on most courses there have black and Asian students, right? So there's mainly black and Asian students pretty much at UEL, right? So she obviously went there to study. On her course, I think she did some kind of media course, right? It's mainly black kids that are doing the media courses at UEL, right? Because they all want to be pop stars and rap stars and get into the industry and get behind the camera, make film, and all of that sort of, some of it good stuff. So she went to study there. Her immediate peers on those courses would have been black. It's as simple as that, right? She may have, I'm guessing now, she may have moved in and had some sort of black female flatmate. She probably moved with some black people, went out for drinks around East London. East London is quite a good place to go out for young people, to go out for drinks. I used to work down there about 25 years ago, right? It's quite a fun place to go out for drinks and mess around and get drunk and play the fool and have a laugh when you're young, right? So she probably went and done all of that. And I get that, that bit of London's very mixed bit of London, as is most of London now. It never used to be, but it is now, right? And then lockdown happened, right? And so she was locked down with a bunch of black kids, right? Effectively, right? And then out of all of that sort of came, more or less with some detail here, there, and everywhere. Out of all of that came what you see. So I'm not sure. I mean, I'm probably she had in her little brain as a 20-year-old. Probably she had her little plan, with funded by her rich mum and dad. But we don't get a lot of Americans coming to the UK to study. What's sad for me over the years is that we hardly get any black Americans coming to the UK. That's the worst bit, right? So you lot, I know for a fact, didn't even know we existed.
No, facts, bro. I've been in the UK once.
Actually, I got a follow-up question.
Go ahead real quick.
I got a follow-up question. From your perspective, what's the overall sentiment, specifically, I guess, in the greater London area, if you will, about Americans that emigrate there? Because I know it's not immigration. We're considered expats when we go from one developed country to another. So what's the overall sentiment about Americans that come over there and not just to visit?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, as I said, not a lot come over, right? I have probably met, that I can remember maybe 2 or 3 that have come over, that have emigrated to the UK. If you move down the West End, right, you will hear American accents, but they're always just here for holidays. Not a lot actually emigrate to the UK. I've met a few, and to be honest, they're treated okay. I mean, I can't really see that there's any animosity towards white Americans. Years ago, many years ago, I was on a college course with one black American. I mean, that was literally round about the late 80s, right? So I mean, he was all right, I mean, from what I can remember. But we were all kids, we was in our mid-teens, late teens. But I mean, the perception of Americans, generally speaking, is, I mean, I've got 2 brothers living in the States. My oldest brother lives in Miami with his wife and kids, and then the middle brother lives in a place called Maryland with his wife and kids.
Yeah, Maryland.
Yeah, he lives there with his wife and kids. And I mean, I've been to both places, but I mean, the last time I personally had sort of dealings with the last time I had dealings with an American, I had a flat and I rented a room. I rented a room in my flat to a white American, right? A white female American, right?
Ooh.
And yeah, and she was confused. Basically, the girl was confused, right? Yeah, she was an intelligent, confused little girl, right? Basically, that's all I can say about her. And prior to that, it was just the whole. I mean, going back over many years now, it was the whole hip hop thing that was in the UK. So we had Americans come over. There was a lot of going backwards and forwards during the sort of the late during the 80s and the 90s regarding hip hop.
Well, let me ask you this, bro. Why I got you on here, and thank you for what you said so far, because you're really painting a broad picture, and I need that. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, okay, cool. I want to talk about some street stuff, right? So we're roughly the same age. I had my first pistol when I was 15. Right? Like I said, I'm gonna keep it 100. I moved in all sorts of bubbles. I don't rock in that world. It's been decades since I've had to deal with that kind of world. But I grew up in an area that was dangerous. For me, it didn't make sense not to have a weapon, and it did not make sense to have a registered weapon in America, because it's like, I'm probably gonna use it. Now I know y'all don't do as much shooting in UK as we do, but there's a lot of, what do y'all call it? There's a lot of sticking going on over there. You know what I mean? Like, y'all like to slice people up. So what was it like for you? Like, did you live in that world where it's like, I'm really worried about my safety? Or did you live in a world where I might have to do some serious bodily harm to somebody? And did you live in a world where law enforcement would actually set you up? I guess y'all say stitch you up over there and lock you up for something you didn't do.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's much, to be honest with you, it's much the same, right? So I grew up in what you guys would call a project, right? Right. In the UK, we call them council estates, right? Similar to what you're born into is your normal. It's normal for you. You know what I mean? So yes. So kids, knife crime in the UK. I mean, not just with black kids. Knife crime with all kids, right? Is huge, right? I mean, obviously we're in London, right? But then if you go up to Scotland, if you go up to Glasgow, I know for a fact that that those white kids are doing the same thing, right? So yeah, I mean, knife crime now is big, but knife crime has always been big in the UK. There's always been gangs. There's always been kids getting stabbed up. We all know, we've all got friends that died young. You know what I mean? So so you see their faces. You know what I mean? Like in your brain, and they're gone.
So it was part and parcel. So our hood life there was an English London, a British equivalent to our hood life there. Because I've only been to UK once. I stayed at the Hari. Shout out to them, great hotel. I was like walking distance from the Palace. You know what I mean? From Buckingham Palace. It used to be called shoot. I can't. It used to be called something else, like because none of the cab drivers knew where it was. And then when they got me there, oh, this is the Diplomat. It used to be called the Diplomat, and they're like, oh, it's the Hari now. So I stayed there, great hotel. Because in my old age, I'm bougie now, man. I can't be nowhere near any drama. I got to be able to walk around in the middle of the night. But a cab driver, I was over there doing the whole, like Trump. I got back the night Trump got elected in America. This is when I got back from UK. And I was over there, and I talked to a cab driver for an hour. He didn't let me out the car. He was like, you seem like such a cool guy. He's like, mate, don't go back. Stay here. Stay here. If you go back to America, you're gonna get killed, mate. I'm like, bro, this is nothing. This is my world, bro. Trust me. They can't touch me, cuz. You know what I mean? And but I thought it was real cool that this guy, hardworking, blue collar man, white man, Englishman, just talking to me, was like, man, former military guy. We were sharing our experiences. I've been on missions with Scotch Dragoons. Those guys can drink. I've dealt with the French Fort Legionnaires. You know what I mean? And it's like, yo, it's just something about Englishmen, like the UK, you know what I mean? And it's just something about it. Like the whole thing. Real quick, let me ask you this: what's going on with the love for the royal family there? How does that affect? Do black folks love the royal family in UK?
I'll come to that, but do you mind if I just go back to what you were just saying?
Yeah, please go ahead.
You see, it's England is a funny place. No, sorry, start with London. London is an interesting place because growing up in inner London, growing up in the inside of London, sometimes you could actually grow up with white kids, and their parents could be racist, right? But because you grew up with their kids, you could get on with their kids, but their parents might not like you, right? So it might be on that level. You might be, and by the time you get to our age, you've known each other so long, you're just happy to see people literally that are still alive, right?
Yes.
Because as you well know, if you come from a certain environment, there's a lot of different ways that you could get knocked off, right? It could be through violence, or it could be through disease. It could be through, by now, diabetes, type 2 diabetes, or some sort of cancer. It could be through drink. It could be through literally going crazy. The amount of guys, black guys, we know that are in and out of mental institutions is far too much, right? I saw a study somewhere that said the rate, listen carefully to this, the rate of mental ill health for black people is the same as it is for white people when black people are living in black countries. Do you catch that? Right. So the rate for in other words, in Africa, in African countries, in the Caribbean countries, the rate of mental ill health is the same as it is for white people in white countries. But when black people travel to white countries, the rate of mental ill health goes up. So then the report goes on to say, this is a government, a charity that gets money from the government, right? It's called the Mind charity, Mind website. So it goes on to say, and I'm paraphrasing, it goes on to say, so there's something about living in white countries that drives black people crazy. Huh. So there's so much that there's so many obstacles, things against you, and all the rest of it, right? I'm not just saying it to get to someone to play violins. It's the truth. This is the truth, right? So if you can literally get to our age, right? If you can get to our age, you've done quite a lot, actually. It's massive. So when when you see your enemies, kids that you used to fight against when you was a little kid, right? You're even happy to see your enemies. You know what I mean? Seriously, you're happy to see people's literally alive. You're happy just to see them. You know what I mean? So anyway, getting on to the royal family. So in the UK, listen carefully. It's black. When that silly little kid, wasn't it, Harry? married your
Merkel.
girl, Megan. Is it Megan?
Yeah, Megan Merkel.
Right.
They trust and believe she hood. She straight out of Oakland. You heard?
Yeah, Oakland. That's where Digital Underground came from, isn't it? Anyway,
Yes,
right.
sir.
When them two decided to get married, right? Listen, it was only black women in England, right? It was mainly black women in England, right, that were happy about that, right? Black men didn't give a muck, didn't care, right? It was mainly black women running around going completely bonkers, right? That they loved it. You know, I had black women coming up to me saying, "Isn't it great?" You know, and I say, "What's great? What?
Right.
You know what I mean?" So honestly, I'm not kidding. It's mainly black women in the UK that thought that was
So
something.
it's the Disney fairy tale narrative thing that they were like, oh, the whole she married a princess kind of thing, and it doesn't mean anything, huh? And here's the thing, because we've gotten off track, but I'm loving this conversation. We're gonna have to link up and do a proper show, bro. I really want to delve into it. Because I've been wanting to do this since I started this platform. I've been looking to how we got brother Dino Dinosaur. Looks like he's also you know what I mean, from over there, and he's saying some good things. I really want to do a show about being black in UK versus being black in America. And let's make that happen, bro. I'm gonna have to when we end this or in the back chat, if you can give me like your email or something, I want to make sure and put it in the back chat comment there, and I'll be able to. I'm gonna email you as soon as we're done. But we got to get back on track with Nick Fuentes and Just Pearly Things. What should happen, brother King? What should happen to Pearly Things? Should she pay some sort of penance, or should the communities here and there, and I'm talking about the black communities, should they hold her accountable for her statements? What do you think should happen?
I just did a stream, okay. Anyway, I just did a stream called should young black London I didn't use the word cancel, but I might as well use that word. Should young black London support Just Pearly Things, right? So as far as I'm concerned, right, you cannot deal with racists, right? It's that simple, right? You can't, because, who the hell, what other community would do that? Think about it. What other community would do that? It makes no sense. So no. My personal thing is, Just Pearly Things would have to do. She would have to pull down her pants, right, and drag her bum along the ground for a mile, right, in penance. Right, seriously, I'm not kidding. She would literally have to do something like that, right, and then at the end of it, right, do something else, right. No. So as far as I'm concerned, no. This should be for me, right. No one should. I have to say, and I say this reluctantly because she's, that woman, her team has made a lot of brilliant content, right, dealing with the modern independent woman, for me, and so for me, my whole thing is, I would love, you see, the black community in the UK, right, the black community in London is dead. Right, we used to have we used to have a great black community in Brixton. We used to have a great, black community in Tottenham. We used to have a great black community in Wolverhampton. You could go somewhere and we had black communities. So all that's dead, right? So what I liked about her, even though it was not a black show. Her show was not a black show. It's a show about modern, independent, Western feminists. That was the show, right? But what did we get out of it? What we got out of it was a few things. One, showing our women how not to be, showing our young men, right, what not to marry, right, what not to give your time to. That's what we got out of it, right? But now that she's gone and basically decided to get in bed with a little racist, right, should we be dealing with that? No.
So, King, in your from where you're at, you gave us your individual thing that she basically can't be saved. What's actually going to happen? Like, what do you think her actual consequences will be over there?
She's going to do the bare. What she's going to do? She's going to take. She's going to basically take the temperature, right, of the room, right, and try and do the bare minimum. Right, that's what she's going to do. Right, as I said before, the young black kids that go on her show, they're going to continue to go on it. Number one, right? because them little black girls that go on it haven't got any dads to stop them, right? That's massive, right?
God, y'all
All them-
really America just on the island, man.
Yeah, basically, right? Them little black girls, they're laws unto themselves, right? No one can tell them anything. All of them want to get into the media anyway, right? So they're all going to keep going on to that show. Here's a terrible one. None of them are politicized. None of them have got any political sense whatsoever. All it's about is me. I want to basically be famous. Right, so all of them are going to. So basically, nothing is really going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I mean, the only thing that the only thing that may happen is the big YouTubers in America, and maybe one or two in the UK that she was pally with, right, have cut ties, and that might, that may or may not have some effect.
Do you think there's a possibility she goes on an apology tour starting with Piers Morgan?
I mean, she might do, but I've got a feeling she's got a sight set higher than Black YouTube. I've got a feeling she's got a sight. I've got a feeling what she's wondering, right, is have I got what I need at this level to take me to the next level? That's really what she's thinking.
You know what? Having said all that, bro, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking she may have done enough to get Patrick Bet-Davis' attention. I'm thinking she's done enough with this to where PBD will sit her down on his platform talking to him in these views, and he will want to figure out why she said what she said and what she really believes. And you know what? If that happens, that is a springboard to the mainstream. If you got Patrick Bet-Davis sitting you down, talking to you about this, you can parlay that. Remember, she already did the Vice thing. So you get PBD. From there, she might wind up sitting in front of Joe Rogan.
Yeah, absolutely. But look, I'm not going to take up any more of your time. I'm going to put my contact in your back chat, DL, and hopefully.
What's your YouTube channel as well? What's your YouTube channel as well?
Yeah. My channel is called Kings and Queens. That's it. So really, don't let the because I know some Americans have told me that the fact I've got Queens in the title, right, that's an issue. But the full title is Kings and Queens. We ain't there yet. Right.
We ain't there. Yeah, you know what? If I saw that, I'm like, that page ain't for me. You should have went with Lords and Ladies. We ain't there yet. but Kings and Queens.
I'll put it in your back chat anyway. Do come and we'll work something out anyway.
Bro, I want to come on your platform, man, and I want to have you back here. As soon as we can make that happen. I know we got the huge time change. Definitely. Thank you so much, brother, for coming on. I really appreciate. Did you have any final thoughts on this before we let you go?
No, man. All I want to say is just keep doing what you're doing. I mean, this game can be it's a labor of love sometimes. Just keep doing what you're doing. Just don't because here's the thing, right? I mean, I'm sure you guys all know this already. There's no outlets for black male voices worldwide. There's no outlets for black male voices worldwide. So you just got we need to bring each other up. We need to support each other worldwide. Not just in the West. I'm talking about worldwide. And we just have to keep doing what we're doing. What it is. There's certain people and powers that would have us shut up, that don't want us to talk. That want to make us afraid for losing our jobs. This, that, and the other. And really, you get one life. And so therefore you have to just make your voice count, and that's it.
That's what's up. That's Kings.
Another thing. Wait, Kings and Queens. Please, because I've been trying to look ever since she popped up, I've been looking for your channel.
Okay.
But and I even filtered it just to search just for channels, and I can't find it for whatever. That's what. Could you leave a link in the chat to your channel for us?
We'll link it to our live chat so people can find it easy. Can you put if you in the back chat, if you give it, I'll take your email so I can get a hold of you, and then if you can put a link to your page in the back chat, we'll link it to the live chat right now so everyone can jump over there and we can support you, bro. This is for you. Thank you so much. Our cousin from the other side.
Thanks for coming. Nice to meet you. Yeah. Nice to meet you. Yeah.
It was an honor to have you on board, Play. We'll talk to you soon.
That was man.
Yeah. And look, he jumped all the way off without putting it in the back chat. He didn't understand. I don't think he realized it was a private chat. so he jumped off. He's probably gonna put it in the regular chat.
Hope not.
Yeah. So, hey, Brother King, if you're still out there, man, there is a private chat for those who are in the back waiting to get on this platform. So if you would have hit the link again, I'm not going to pull you up on screen, but hit the link again. Once you're on the link, and boom, Miss AKA lady found it, because the AKs are better than Green Berets when it comes to
No, they're not. No, they're not. Don't lie.
She found it. She
Don't
put it
lie.
right there. It is right there. I see you, sis. But brother, kings and queens, if you're out there, don't put your email in the regular chat because everybody email you. Hit the link, come back on the link, and there's a private chat on the link that only we can see, me, Mandrell, and Tarus. Put it in there, and then I'll have your email and I'll be able to hit you up. Otherwise, there's my Instagram going across the bottom on the screen. You can DM me on Instagram, bro. Let's get together, man. Now one more time for you, bro. That was fire. He broke it down, man. He broke it down. So let's wrap this up, fellas. And it looks like, I spent a lot of time thinking that our struggles here as a community, as Black folks, was just ours. Like, this is only an American issue. I never thought that Black folks or people of color, however you want to put it, all over the world, in the Western world, are having similar issues, bro.
I agree, man. I always knew that. Well, I guess I always assumed that, the UK's racism, specifically England, was a little bit different. But that's just a spitting image of here. I mean, a spitting image of what we're dealing with right here in this country. I mean, dang.
And Mandrell, what's your thoughts on that, man? Because, dude, you've traveled way more than me. Your missions have taken you everywhere. Did you ever give it thought? What were your thoughts on that?
I knew there was racism over there. But because it's very similar, because America's built on the same, pretty much the same principles as the UK. All of the buildings, all of it was, the entire country is built on racism. The whole thing. You know what I mean? The Industrial Revolution, who was doing all that legwork? There were either indentured servants for other countries and primarily like poor Black people. But the indentured servants got paid more. They actually got paid, and the Black people got pennies. Even though indentured servitude means that you work for free. Your labor is the payment. You know what I'm saying? You got something first, and you're repaying that debt with labor. But it's just as messed up over there as it is over here. The aristocracy and everything, they don't care about the people. It's the same. Now, that kind of stuff, I did know that, DL. When dealing with that kind of stuff, when it comes to the UK, I knew they dealt with that. I saw that firsthand. The Parliament doesn't really care. Just like here, the policies don't really fix anything.
And then look at their prime minister. They got their own Barack Obama. That's
why
I got to do a whole other show.
What do you say they call it? The projects over there, Counselor States?
Counselor States.
I need a rapper to drop that in the bar ASAP, man.
They got counselor stuff, you know what I mean? Will chef you up, man, from the Counselor States, man. You know what I mean? Like that. And then I guess they got slang, like instead of cutting you, like chef them up or something like that. Yo, it's crazy, bro. You better watch some more BBC, man. You better get that Luther in your life, bro. Watch some Guy Ritchie.
DCI John Luther.
You know what I'm saying?
DCI John Luther. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and just wrap it up. I know we kind of got off topic.
That's all right, in a good way, though.
Yeah, in a good way. We're not gonna finish. I did pin MTR's link in the chat so y'all can go back and watch the rest of that. That 12-minute thing is really good. Please go back and watch that. Like and subscribe. I'm gonna subscribe to him. I'm gonna start to follow the brother because that is a man of integrity. For him to come out like this right now and stand on what he stands on, that's a man of integrity. I got to give it to him. My hat's off to the guy. So I did put that in the chat. And everyone here in the chat, thank y'all so much for coming through and rocking with us. We're about to roll into final thoughts. Let me get the banner right. You know what I mean? We're about to rock into final thoughts. We'll probably start with, we're going to go with Brother Tarus. Hold on one second. Let's get Brother Tarus up here. What are your final thoughts on all this, on this craziness, bro?
Man, once again, it's just show after show, DL. Once again, as I always say, thank you for inviting me on your platform. But man, it's just show after show. It's a really good discussion, really great conversations. And even though we kind of went off topic, we really didn't, because we really needed that background information to have a more understanding of the specific topic that we're dealing with.
I gotta pause you right quick.
Yep.
We're gonna let you get back to it in a second. Straight Alpha, Victim Mindset Podcast. You gotta explain yourself. What do you mean, bro? What are you talking about? Straight Alpha. What are you talking about? Victim Mindset Podcast? You talking about this podcast? You talking about Brother King's podcast? You talking about just Pearly? What are you talking about, bro? Just curious. And we're gonna pause our final thoughts because, you know.
Oh yeah, we need to answer real quick. Is that
Yeah,
a name of an actual podcast, or you talking shit?
Oh yeah. I'm just curious. And yo, Straight Alpha, dude. Hey, you Straight Alpha. You know I'm Alpha. I'm airborne. That flag right there above me, bro. There's only one way to get it. that's Alphas only. Mandrell's a Green Beret. You know what I mean? Tarus is a combat vet. Just curious, what do you mean by Victim Mindset Podcast, bro? And let's jump down here and see where we at. Yeah, we're gonna give you a couple minutes to respond. Hopefully you still here. Because I just want to know. You know what I mean? And like I said, we got the link if you want to come up and we could talk about it. Because I might be a lot of things, but I've never been a victim in my life. I have victimized people in my life. You know what I mean? I ain't proud of it. It is what it is. You know what I mean? So we'll give him a couple minutes to respond. And brother XFO, what's good, fam? It's good to see you, man. He was talking about, am I gonna start a Discord and all that? Yo, for real, you might have to help me with that, man. Y'all young folks, man, y'all be doing all this tech stuff. I'm gonna need some help on that. You know, maybe we're gonna do a Discord. I'm open to the idea, brother XFO, man. And I'm glad you always here. You know what I'm saying? Rocking out. And I there's something, you know what? I watched this video about the French Foreign Legion. It looks like the Legionnaires aren't taking people like they used to. Man, Joe, I don't know if you know this, but when you can walk into the gates now to join the French Foreign Legion, and they immediately put you into a selection course immediately. Like you go in. I want to join the Legion. They open the gates. They let you in. They expect you to have, I guess it's online. They tell you what to bring, and they immediately put you into a selection process, bro. I didn't know this. And they select. So if you got 100 guys, they might take 5.
It's like that. It's like that. Like we started a class of nearly 400 people, man, and at the end, only 8 of us got selected.
Right, but the French Foreign Legion wasn't necessarily special forces. They were just the Foreign Legion. They were all airborne, but they weren't. I thought within the Legion they had guys who went on to do extra hardcore stuff, but it looks like that's all they're doing now. They only want the hardest of the hard. I didn't know that.
Oh well.
Hey, hopefully we get somebody who was part of that to hop up on here and talk about it.
The Legion, man, I would love to bump into a Legionnaire, bro. You know what I mean? You
don't run across them often. Like you'll live a whole lifetime and never meet one.
Right.
I met one. We were forward. We weren't even like forward. You know what I'm saying? But we were on Tapline Road. This was doing Desert Storm. I met one Legionnaire, and it was like it was him, and he was with a French Army regular. And dude, we chopped it up, but that's the only Legionnaire I ever bumped into, bro. And I'm surprised you ain't met none, Mandrell, especially some of the regions you've been to.
I never said I never met none.
I mean, but
I just said you don't bump into them every day, and you can't go a whole life without meeting one. Never said I didn't.
All right. Oh, it must have been one of them kind of missions. We'll talk about it later. Can't wait to hear the story. Because I got clearance, y'all. And I think I know what mission you were on. So it looks like the Alpha dude don't want to say nothing. He probably just popped in and said what he said and moved on. Straight Alpha dude, I don't think he's here. But like I said, man, look, all comments are welcome. All mindsets are welcome. We're gonna get back to Brother Tarus's final thoughts. Go ahead, bro.
Talk shit and run off. Not very alpha of you, bro. Anyway, again, DL, thank you for having me on your panel, Mandrell. Always nice to see you. I really like the context and where this went. Like we needed that background. I'm really glad Kings and Queens hopped up on here. Really glad to see Dino. Really glad to see Miss Lady XFO. Everybody, Vaughn in the chat, like supporting. Guys, not one of us made any excuses for just Pearly things. The response was quick. It was rapid. It was QRF, what we called it in the deployment. That's the message, though. When incidents like this happen, you cannot drag your ass in the response, in the reaction. No, you don't have to go on a week-long, talking about this nonstop. I understand the YouTube space and everything like that. It's going to be a popping thing. But if you're a person who rocked or did business with Just Pearly things, as fast as you was to break bread with her, that needs to be as fast as you are to disconnect from her. Right now, we saw DL Saint do that. We just watched the reaction video from MTR do that damn near live. He was talking about it, that it was going on live. Guess what? All you guys that was rocking with Just Pearly, YouTube content, and I'm talking to you, Fresh and Fish. I can't even say your name. And guess what?
Fresh and Fit.
Here, you're on the clock.
Fresh and Fit don't rock, but real quick, Fresh and Fit don't rock with Pearly things.
I don't even care. They're on the clock. And so anybody,
and for the record, like they really, when I say they don't rock with her, they really don't rock with her.
But you know what? I'm gonna lump them all in together because they rock with Andrew Tate, don't they? So guess what? You're on the clock, Fresh. You're on the clock, Fit. Whatever you guys' name are, you're on the clock. Those are my final thoughts.
I get that to you, man. We're gonna talk in the back chat about that because I don't agree with that, but then people gonna think I'm fanboying it up. But
that's fine. Hey, just to make sure I speak for me and me only.
Right. Well, that's for you, bro. Thanks for coming through. You always welcome here, man. Hang out in the back for a hot second, man. We'll wrap this up. I got some words for you. Good words. Ain't no drama. Ain't no drama. Brother Mandrell, what are your final thoughts, bro?
My final thoughts are,
oh shit, hold on. Straight Alpha's back. Victims. Bro, type in more words. Who's the victim? Hold on. Let's get Trues back up here. Straight Alpha. Who are the victims here, bro? I'm just curious, bro. The link's in here, man. Shit, let me put the link down here so you ain't gotta look for it. It's at the top. Oh shit, I can't. I put in something else. Bro, the link is pinned to the top, man. Listen, you ain't getting this ain't no, what I mean? I'm not looking for no drama. I'm curious. I really want to hear what you have to say. Victims, who are the victims, bro? Like that's what I want to hear. Like, if you don't want to jump up here, that's fine. Type in.
Come on, Zach F. Bring your ass up here.
Come on, Truth. It is what it is. Like, what I mean? It's anybody can be who and tough and hard on the computer screens, man. I ain't on that, but I'm just kind of curious. Victims, who are the victims, bro? That's what
I'm saying. Like, cam up. Like, if he feel that kind of way, like, cam up.
No, all right. That's Taru's take on it. You are more than welcome to cam up. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I need more words than that. I don't understand what you're trying to say. You know what I mean? It's just there's a lot going on in this chat, bro. I don't understand what you're trying to say. You know what I mean? So
my bad, Theo. I'm not trying to put you in a tough spot, man. It's just
it ain't no tough spot. It's just
these cut and run dudes, man.
I hear you, and I mean, come on, I know. But like I said, I like to give men an opportunity to express their views, stand 10 toes down on it, especially if you're calling yourself alpha. I'm going to take you at your word. I want to give you an opportunity to stand up like a man. That's it. Oh, he's talking about queens and kings, did not mention racism. He mentioned slavery. He is a victim. That's what you're saying. All right. I mean, okay. I can see that. Panel agreeing with him, have the same victim mentality. That part I don't agree with. You know what I mean? As black men in America, and we're talking to a black man
victim
from
mentality.
UK. Yeah, so I mean, it's just the victim mentality part, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. The victim mentality part. Now, that part right there, like, nah, there's no victim over here, homie. You know what I mean? But I will tell you the truth. It's hard and harder for some people in some societies in America, right? Redlining, right? After slavery, Jim Crow, right? You know what I mean? It's stuff that goes on. And like I say, man, that's the game we in, bro. I never hate the game. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. I never hate the players. I only hate the game. There are a lot of victims out there, bro. I agree with you there. Straight alphas. There are a lot of victims out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of them. I've been through some stuff, and people like, well, you were victimized and you were traumatized. Like, man, whatever, bro. I was living. I did what I had to do. I survived. I made it. A lot of cats didn't make it. But again, there's no victim mentality to it. And straight alpha, like, what's your take? Do you even know? Like, do you know what's going on with Pearl or whatever? Like, what's your take on racism with respect to U.S. and what we're talking about here? Let's say he said all white people are born racist. I don't think that's what he said, but you know what? And you know what? He
did say that.
And I
He said
disagree with that.
wait. He said all white people are born racist. He thinks all white people are. He didn't say born, but he said he thinks all white people are racist. It's just a question of what degree.
Yes, and I didn't mean to push
No,
back.
no,
on
that-
that,
no,
and I didn't
yeah.
mean to push back on that, but I didn't. And yo, hey, shout out to you, straight alpha. Shout out to you. I did want to push back on that. I've come up with cats. They were in a similar situation to me. They were poor like we were poor, living in the kind of world that we were living in. They were white. You know what I'm saying? And I had respect for these dudes. I didn't see them as racist. I never heard them utter anything racist about anybody, even our enemies and stuff like that. They never said anything racist about Latinos or Asians or blacks or whatever. So when I heard Brother King say that, and I definitely, you know what? I screwed up, man. I should have pushed back, and I had it. I wanted to say something, but I didn't, because we was talking about other stuff. So I messed up. But trust me, we're gonna
That
talk
was his
about
first
that more.
time up here. I thought we was just kind of letting him get it off.
Let's
Like
let him get off.
introduce himself.
Yes, but I should have pushed back on that. And Alpha, you're right. Straight Alpha, you're right. I should have pushed back on that. You know what I mean? And he said, first time on here, back to differ. Hey, bro, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here, and you are more than welcome to jump up here, bro. For real, for real. You're right. I should have pushed back on that, and I meant to, and I didn't. But I'm gonna talk to the brother again. We're gonna talk about it, because I don't share that sentiment. I'm like, I see where he's coming from, and that question is there. You rocking with somebody, you've been rocking with them your whole life, and then the situation comes up, and something is said. I've been there before. Like, man, I can't believe dude said that. You know what I mean? If they drop the N word on you, like, what? Even around you, like, you what? You just said that? Now, am I saying that that's what all white people would do? I can't say that, bro. Not all of them. Not all of them. But I also put my faith in Pearl, didn't I?
And I told you about that.
Yep.
All money ain't good money, man. Hey, listen, my instincts are never wrong. There's times I wish they were. I wish my instincts were wrong. Just once. Just one time be wrong, man.
And look at this. Look, I'm too alpha for this. I'm gone. Goodbye, bro. You're not even a guy. That's like, you done took somebody else.
That's men don't even talk like that. That's a woman.
You ain't even bye. All right, bye.
Yeah, men don't even talk like that. That's a woman.
All right, love. Yo, I mean, yeah, that's how he found Kings and Queens. You know what I mean? That's how he found that page over there. Like, oh wait, that's not what I thought it was be. All right, bro. All right, good. Thanks. Thanks. All right, Trues, I'm putting you back.
Yeah, I gotta apologize real quick. That dude brought all that energy back, because we was actually having a real chill conversation, and then he came popping off with the mouth, and then I just remembered all the crap I've been dealing with the panel. I really wanted to smoke, man, and I shouldn't be doing that on your platform. You know what I mean?
It's all good. Because we didn't do it. It's all good, man. We had a laugh about it. Trust me, I've done the same thing, man. So I know you done got your blood worked up, man. Do some push-ups, man. Do some flutter kicks. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Just do some flutter kicks and some push-ups, you'll be all right, man. I'm gonna drop you back down. Don't go nowhere. We're gonna holler at you in a second. Man, Jay, okay, let's get back to your final thoughts, man. My bad on that shit, man. Go back to your
No problem. Final thoughts. Listen, it's just be careful who you do business with, and please, people, be mindful of the BS. Okay, please be mindful. You can't do business with everybody. You know what I'm saying? And all money ain't good money, like I said. And this whole Pearl thing is stop the victim mentality. Straight alpha. Right. Gotcha. All right, cool. Yeah, I actually agree with that. People stop the victim mentality. Okay, you're not victims. Okay, stop doing things to yourself. But regarding this subject tonight, good show for one. It's a good thing you brought it up tonight, and in response to it, big up for you for that. But no, the Pearly things for me can't come back from this. Well, I was never cool with her to begin with, but she can't come back from this because we can't let her. Whether we're here or here stateside or in the United Kingdom, we should not allow her to come back from it. No, you messed up. I get it, but you messed up in the wrong fashion. That's something. That's a point. That's event horizon stuff. Point of no return. You've hit the event horizon. Now you can't come back. For me, and I hope other people who share my ethnicity take the same route. Instead of forgiving everybody and understanding, even though they insult you and your culture, they don't really care about you. They don't really care about shit. People here don't really care about us. We're a tool, a utility. You know what I'm saying? Even her boyfriend is probably just for publicity. The black boyfriend is just, no, I'm not racist. I have a black boyfriend. Oh, an excuse to get out. I'm not dumb. White women fantasize about black men all the time. You'll experiment with us, but you won't marry us. You won't have our babies. I know what this is. I've seen this. I've seen this before. So I'm not fooled. And people, don't be stupid. Don't let this one come back. That's what I got to say.
Man, that's what's up, Airborne. I appreciate you, man. You know I do. And where can people find you real quick? I know you got some stuff in the works, but for now, where can people find you?
For now, you can find me on, you can always find me on Black Men Unfiltered. The Black Men Unfiltered Network on YouTube and Instagram, Mandrell_21 on Instagram. Not giving you my Facebook. Not giving my Facebook. That's got my Christian name in it. Nah.
There it is right there. And Brother King, as I say you, man, if now that you're on here, there is a back chat, bro. It's a private chat on the right-hand side of the screen. Just hit that and you'll be able to send us private chats. And only we can see it on the panel because Brother King's came back for a hot second. So
he did? Yeah. I haven't put his email back there.
Yep, yeah. He's in there. It's in the chat right now. Appreciate you coming back, bro. So, all right, man, Drew, thanks again, bro. Man, I'm gonna holler at you.
Thanks for having me.
We're in a second. All right, it's down to me. Final thoughts, man. Listen, what Pearl did was wrong. It's wrong, right? Just as wrong as Kanye West. They're both just as wrong. What Kanye was saying about the Jewish folks, Kanye is wrong for what she said about black folks, right? Slavery and whatnot. Entertaining someone like Nick Fuentes. You know what I mean? I personally think that's wrong. Should she be forgiven? Well, that's for each individual to wrestle with on their own. You know, for me, can I forgive her? Yes. Will I forget? No. Will I work with her? No. I mean, I know how you feel. I can't rock with you. That's just how it is. And I've said that now publicly. So if y'all see me doing a show with her, y'all can call me what you're going to call me, but it's not going to happen. Like Mandrill says, and that's my mantra. All money ain't good money. I learned that when I was young. You know what I mean? So what's next for Just Pearly Things? I don't know. I really don't know. I suspect that she's going to come out next week apologizing. I suspect that she's going to try to clean it up because it's business. I suspect she's going to do what you see all of the politicians and actors and athletes do when they mess up. Why? Because she wants to keep making the money. She doesn't need the money. She's a 1%er. But she's built something. And she wants that legacy. She wants to continue to build. So I believe she's going to come out and she's going to apologize. As a community, do I think the community should forgive her? And I'm talking about, you know, black community here in the U.S. and our black cousins abroad in the UK. Well, that's up to the community. We'll see. We'll see in the subscriber count. We'll see in the views. We'll see. And I'll leave it there. We shall see. That's my final thoughts on it. Again, I want to thank all y'all for coming through and supporting your man, you know what I'm saying, over here trying to do some stuff, man. We growing, y'all. We almost got 1,400 subs, yo. We growing. We're growing. I had to cover this. I'm not going to dwell on this. We'll be back next week. Brother Truce and I are going to be talking about finances. We're going to be talking about, investing in yourself 101, how to build a balanced, proper portfolio starting at age 18. That's what we're going to be talking about this week. We're going to talk about how to build a portfolio. Brother Mandrill and I will be back later on this week. We're going to be talking about this financial crisis. People, we are in the midst of a financial crisis, right? Not just Americans, but the Western world is starting to lose faith in the banking system. Banks are going under. Think about that for a minute. We're going to be talking about that next week. People should have been listening to Peter Schiff, and they weren't, and they should have been. That's what we're going to be doing next week. We're going to be talking about all that. You know what I mean? We're going to get back to what really matters. This Pearly Things event and all these other events, like what happened with Kanye West and all this other kind of stuff, smoke and mirrors, people. Smoke and mirrors. It keeps you occupied while someone is reaching in your pocket and taking your pennies out. And that's all you got is pennies. You feel me? So we're going to get back to what's real. We're going to be talking about the war in Ukraine. We're going to be talking about Russia. We're going to be talking about China. And just so y'all know, Russia, China, combined, the rest of the modern world and all of their militaries, if they were to join forces and attack America, they will be defeated. People, we spend almost $800 billion a year on military equipment and technology. Brother Mandrill and I have talked about this on previous shows. The stuff that we are giving Ukraine is stuff we don't even use. Think about that for a moment. The equipment that the Ukrainians are using to defeat the Russians is old tech to us. We're giving them literally Chuck Taylors. We're not giving them Air Jordans. And look what they're doing to the Russians with it. So that's what we're going to be talking about next week, y'all. Thank y'all so much for coming in. I really appreciate each and every one of y'all. Yo, even Straight Alpha, thank you for coming through. Real talk. King and Queens, sir, thank you so much for coming through. Appreciate it. Can't wait to work with you in the future, bro. Real talk. You know what I mean? We're just going to show these chats and then we're going to wrap this up. Very high IQ conversation here. You know what I mean? Good night and good weekend to all. I hope y'all having fun. Go out there and do something cool with your kids, or go out there and meet somebody and make some kids. How about that? It is fun, but be ready to take care of them kids, y'all. Have some fun. You know what I mean? Straight Alpha, please continue to come back and you know what I mean? Dude, you're being respectful. I'm straight up. You're not disrespectful. And I agree. I agree with you about this victim mentality. I just don't agree with the way you're using it at this particular moment. So yeah, DL, my Insta, man, it's on the bottom of the screen, man. It's I Really Want to Know Podcast, all one word. That's for XFO. That's my Instagram. Just type in I Really Want to Know Podcast, all one word. It'll take you right to my Instagram. Yeah, Miss AKA later, we're gonna be talking about finances. Terus is excited. You know what I mean? Brother Mandrill, I know he's excited. And we're gonna keep bumping, y'all. We're gonna keep growing, and we're gonna get there, man. We're gonna cover the silliness, and we're also gonna cover, you know what I mean, the realness. Not just here in America, but you saw it right here. We are making connections in UK. We're gonna do that. We got people in Australia. We got people in South Africa. We're gonna find some people in Germany. We're gonna continue to grow. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Kings and Queens, nice one, DL. Let's make it happen. We are definitely going to make it happen, brother. I cannot wait. Thank y'all so much for being here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Y'all know what it is. I'm DL Saint. This is the DL Saint I Really Want to Know podcast, y'all, and I'm out of here. Good night. Peace.
Darn, that's the end.